So, last we left our heroes, you guys slayed the sickly dragons and got what little loot you could from them, though rustworms ate through most of it, but you did get a bag of holding and there was a goodie inside of it. You then made your way back to Tarbaron, and the weather started getting colder and snow started to fall. Daoji was getting very cold, because his clothes were shambled and shitty. So, they got back and squared away a deal with the Castellan, with the help of Logan Gyre, to get some property going. A nice little two-story building that is going under renovations for you guys. About a couple blocks away from the coastline. Later that evening, you guys ran a tournament after drinking with Malnik and selling some shit. Bit tougher than originally anticipated. Some mages showed up to conjure some illusions of monsters they had some research on, but you were victorious. And Arthur is going to be on the next day. He's going to be helping the mages document some of their studies. Daoji was drinking with Malnik at the bar, having a good time, when Arthur returned home. So, Arthur, as you awake, you can see Ellie outside. What are you doing?
I'm gonna walk downstairs and stand out in the courtyard where she's practicing at right now and just stand there and watch her form for a minute.
Okay, so you watch her for a few long minutes, and she has her back turned to you, but just she's going through the motions. She's doing everything you taught her, but with it being nighttime, it's form's not entirely perfect, but nothing you couldn't iron out.
I'll walk up. No, you should have pirouetted where you tried to parry. You don't always have to redirect. Seem like you have something on your mind.
You have to tit when you should have tat.
Yes. Potato when you potatoed.
Well, thanks. She sheaths her sword and leans up against a wall. Why are you out so late?
Well, I assume that given the last time, you might have had a dream recently.
I have dreams every night, Arthur.
Yes, but you know of the type of dream I speak.
Mm. Why, did you have another dream as well?
Yes, I did actually.
Oh, mine I don't think are quite like yours. They're... She pauses for a moment. Just visions from my past.
I believe we see the similar thing. Not the same way, but we're both plagued by the same demon.
Maybe. What did you have?
Well, I don't think I'm getting to sleep anytime soon. Guess we could practice for a bit more.
Alright.
Fix your footwork. And, yeah, I'll just stay up with her for an hour or two and show her the motions step by step, emphasizing footwork and blade placement. It's all about where you finish your arc. It's not about how you get there.
Alright. She
Uh,
tries
yeah.
to follow to the best of your instructions. After a moment, she says, "So, What did you say your dreams were? A calling?
It's more of a reality than a dream. I wish it was a dream sometimes.
Hmm. Well, what reality did you see this time?
Not sure how to put it in words. A beginning, end, something in between.
Middle.
Why do you think I see these things? Like I said, most of my
It seems
dreams are
the
just
sights of
things that
Mon
have
plague
already
you.
happened. I've already told you they killed my whole village,
Yes.
and I've run into them a couple of times after that.
Well, I don't think it's too much of a coincidence that I guess I'm fully understanding what the calling is now. Or not fully, but getting close to it.
Hmm.
Type of connection. I don't know if it was because these lands are so far away, none of the other wardens knew about it, but now that I'm here, I'm starting to sense a bit of a connection.
So, you think we have something to do with your curse?
Not you per se, but Saitsamon perhaps.
Oh,
There's
maybe.
7 of them, correct?
Yes.
Well, where I'm from, we have 7 elder gods. Every archdemon has been one of them. I have small inklings of maybe they're a connection in some type of way.
Maybe. I don't know much about them other than they're ancient. Nobody likes to talk about them, and they each have a different sign from where they're close.
It's the same for us. We have terrible blight on our lands where I'm from. Call them the Darkspawn. And they're not so mindless anymore. Used to be they wandered the deep roads, the deep under the earth, where 7 great elder gods were imprisoned long, long, long ago. When they find one, they awaken it, affect it. It becomes something entirely different. It becomes what we call an archdemon. It unifies the hordes of Darkspawn and brings them above ground and causes a new blight.
So your gods are the same as demons?
Archdemons are one of a few gods that people know of. We don't talk about the archdemons, same as your Saitsamon.
I see.
We have a large following of a single god. They call him the Maker.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Is Ellis really echoing for you too, AJ?
Not really.
No, I'm echoing through AJ's, I believe.
Oh, here, I'll turn you down a bit, my bad.
Yeah,
That's
no
all
problem.
right. I can just hear everything like this.
Yeah, I'm watching it in the TeamSpeak. Yeah, it's still echoing a little bit. There we go.
Change volume. Turn you down to like -8 or
But-
something. Alright.
Alright. But yes, there's many different religions and many different reasons given for their existence where I'm from. The Darkspawn and their archdemons, they're a result of great and terrible men trying to break their way into the home of what people consider God, the Maker. They were cast out back to our lands. They were the first Darkspawn, and they started the first blight. So the story goes, as the Chantry would want us to hear it. But if these Saitsamon and these archdemons are in some way connected, I do believe there's hope. My order has slain 5 of these 7 archdemons.
Hmm.
So, who knows? Maybe we could find a way, some form of magic, or
How did they kill them?
that is a warden's ultimate sacrifice. Only a warden can kill an archdemon. When that warden kills the archdemon's soul passes through the warden, destroys both souls.
Hmm.
That's the life of my order. We live solely to fight these monsters, and we die, same as killing them. My father was the last warden to kill an archdemon, and he somehow survived the ordeal. And my mother tells me that the soul that passed through him went instead into my mother and was put inside me after my father impregnated her.
So you have an archdemon inside of you?
No, it was removed by my grandmother when I was a boy.
What
But
happened to it?
at one point, yes. That's a very long story, a very, very, very confused.
Hmm. So, do you think if you killed them, you'd have to die?
I have no clue, truly. I'd imagine so, though.
Hmm.
Who knows? Might be my my last test in this world. I've lived long enough, anyway.
Maybe we can find answers at the university.
Yes, I believe we will as well. Well, it seems you've picked up on what I've been teaching you tonight.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna go in and try and sleep
All right.
more.
Good night, Arthur.
Good night, Ellie. Yeah, I'll go inside and
Okay.
I won't go to sleep. I'll fucking write notes and I'll make some potions.
Okay. As you get closer back to where you're staying, you see you watch Arthur head back inside Daoji as you approach the threshold of the inn. So, what are you guys doing?
You?
You, like, as you're coming back towards the inn from from drinking with Melnick, hanging out after the
Okay.
tournament.
I'm probably gonna sprawl out on the rooftops and just watch the stars for a bit.
Okay.
Not really doing much of anything else. Thought he's got a lot on his mind.
Okay. So you do so. Eventually, Ellie returns inside and goes to sleep as well. Several hours pass until morning. Dawn starts to break. After a few hours, Arthur, you hear a knocking on your door. And as you answer it, you can see one of the mages standing outside.
You gentlemen ready to get to work?
Yes, I believe we'll be spending most of the day writing notes and going through what we observed. Are
Very
you
well,
ready?
and I'll offer what I observed as well. First-hand accountings are usually the best for these type of situations.
Very good, very good. This is a quiet little place. I think we can do this out on a table downstairs.
Very well. Allow me to gather my notes as well.
Alright, we'll be downstairs then.
And I'll gather my what little notes I spent writing for while I was staying up,
Alright.
and I'll meet them downstairs.
Okay. You do, so they sit down. You can see they have, each of them has a long scroll of parchment spread out with several different quills and ink pots next to them. You see some of their scrolls have already been scrawled on, but they are not to a large extent, not yet. You sit down and they begin questioning you about the fight. Do you have anything you want to do in town, Daoji?
I have Tinker's tools. Would you allow me to go find some place to make small lead spheres?
Yeah, sure.
They're like caltrops, except they're gonna be small and round. So when I spread them out on the floor, someone running after me might fall on them.
Okay, so yeah, like little spheres. Okay, yeah, you remember Ben telling you that there used to be a man who worked on, like a tinker, who was a tinker who worked with black powder and stuff, and he told you where that guy lived, but that he had moved out. So you make your way back to where he
Sorry
was.
to interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before I went to the mages, could I talk to Daoji?
Yeah,
Like
you
retconning
could-
a little bit.
You could do that.
Yeah, Arthur, you'll find him. He's still laying up on the rooftop of the inn. You probably step out and look up and see him, arms behind his back, a leg up on his knee, and he's just hanging out.
Hey, Daoji. I hate to ruin your moment of relaxation, but are you going out in the town today?
That might be. What do you need?
Well, that oil salesman, he told us of the guy who had black powder. I was wondering if you could go pick some up. I could make us some special devices again.
Sure, if I pass by there.
I appreciate it. Here, I'll give you some gold so you don't have to spend your own. And I'll give you 1,000 gold. See if you can get 1,000 gold's worth of black powder.
Well, if you recall, he mentioned that that guy had moved out. He's no longer in town.
Well, I mean, are you gonna go and try and find him?
I don't care where I do it at. I just need, I have Tinker's tools, so maybe I just need the materials and maybe like a small little forge or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you can. The only thing about the black powder is where he moved to. It's at the Dragon's Eye Keep. He's like a week and a half away.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe we'll get some at the university then.
Yeah, I'd imagine you probably could. It's a school of engineers.
Alright, so rewind again. Never mind, that little conversation never happened, and I'll be back with the mages.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Stop saving and resetting. What is this, Undertale?
I'm the Neverine from Morrowind.
So, but you find that it's abandoned now, and as you look through, you can see it's heavily laden with dust by this point, and one of the windows is cracked. But as you head downstairs, you can see a couple of different workbenches, some of them still having some empty vials and tubes on them, and a couple of spare tools should you need them. So you can get to work on easily enough rounding out some lead,
Yeah,
making
just
it spherical.
making like a little bag full, so if the opportunity presents itself, I can throw them on the floor and get some lulls.
Okay. So you work on that. The mages grill you, Arthur, about the different ways the beasts fought, asking on your expertise about them. The man seems particularly interested in the dinosaurs.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let them know that it hurts when they bite you.
Smells bad in their mouth.
It smells bad in their mouth. And they have particularly thick hides.
Hmm. He makes some notes and says, "That's interesting. It seemed like you were cutting through the hide quite well, though."
Well, and I'll gesture to the sword on my back. This thing is quite apt at cutting.
I see. Very well. He jots down some notes. Thick hide. Teeth. It's a shame they closed your wounds up from that too bad. It would have been nice to get the different force of how strong their jaws are, but well, we could run more tests another time.
Well, I'd say I'd put their jaws at. I've been bitten by many things, and not many of them top that. Aside from a dragon, perhaps. Yes, I'd put them in the same realm as a dragon.
Truly.
Yes, they're not fast, but when they get a hold of you, it's quite terrifying.
Alright, slow beings, but when attacked, can attack with the ferocity of a dragon.
May I ask though, where did you find some? Are there beasts of that out in the wild? I've never seen such a thing.
The woman speaks and says, "Well, we ourselves have never seen them. We had different masters at the university. Some students stay behind to assist them in research. We call them gillers. We're gillers ourselves. Another one of the gillers went out for Master Lauren to do some research in the field and came back. He is writing a bestiary, you see." And she pulls it out, and you see on the she pulls it out. It's a large tome with a picture of a dragon engraved into the front. It's called "The Common Mating Habits of a Dragon." She says, "Not quite the name I would have given a bestiary, but
My kind of book.
it was
This
always
is a
an odd
bestiary
name."
for all manner of beasts, not just dragons.
Yes, take a look.
And that is a very odd name.
And he was always a bit odd.
Well, I have a running bestiary of my own. If you don't have any notes on such creatures, I could share my notes with you if you'd be willing to share yours with me.
Yes, we can arrange such things. But for now, let's continue on with the beast we showed you. So, and the man's riding slow but strong as a dragon. What would you say about their intelligence?
Of the
One-
large-jawed beast.
Yes, that one.
They didn't show much semblance of using reasoning. I mean, it was combat after all. There's not a lot to deduce when you're fighting something. I assume the same's for a beast. We'd have to observe them in the wild. Maybe put obstacles in their way.
I see. There we go. He continues jotting notes, and for the rest of the evening, or that afternoon, they spend asking you similar questions about the different creatures, marking down different notes, and writing down. You see like large paragraphs of information that they pull from you, adding some of their own input as well.
I'll also share my info if they don't have any on Slod and the rustworms and the results of rustworms and metallic dragons.
Okay. So
yeah,
once,
I'll share that info with them as well.
as you do, they pull out new pieces of parchment, and they say, "You fought these things. When did you encounter such creatures?"
About 3 weeks, two and a half to 3 weeks back, up north.
These were
In
the
a-
rustworms?
Yes, the rustworms. It seems they had found their way into a wyvern, and and dragon nest, metallic dragons.
Hmm.
I fought them near, what was it? Lyria, was it? Or yeah, it was Lyria we were at, right?
Close to there, I think.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to pull my notes. Right.
Yeah, I fought them up near Lyria. We had found a bounty for wyverns up in the hills. People were describing them as decrepit and decaying in a way, and I thought at first that they were the results of some necromancy, but upon further inspection, it seems rustworms had infested the nest of them.
I see. He pulls out a piece of parchment and scrawls out a letter before rolling it up. We'll have to get word. Send someone to look at the remains of these things, take autopsies, and maybe bring back a sample if the worms are still alive. Yes, that'll do.
Oh, I almost took one. Damn it.
It's a shame. Could have used a specimen.
Yes, I had thought about it, but it's risky. I have you can tell I carry a great deal of metal and didn't want to run the risk of having any of it tarnished or ruined.
Yes, it
It
is
seems
wise not
they
to.
eat through everything though.
It is wise not to handle things without proper precautions. We'll get some men
Yes.
up there to investigate. And the Slod. You mentioned one of them
This,
vanished, went away somewhere else.
yes, and I would put them as intelligent. This one much more so than the rest. It seemed that
Yes, you
they
mentioned they were
teleport.
replacing people within the town.
yes, disguising themselves as the people.
We have, as far as I know, we don't have much records on such things. We'll have to present this to Master Lauren.
Yes, and I have many more creatures that I've fought. If you don't have records of them, I'd be willing to let you peruse my notes in your spare time.
Yes, well, he rips off the piece of parchment he was writing on, rolls it up and says, well, until we're ready to go back to the university, I don't have much to do, so I wouldn't mind a perusal of your bestiary in exchange for a perusal of ours.
That seems fair enough. I'll show you the area where I've started recording monsters from these lands, as I am from far across the sea. If you would like to record the portion of monsters I have where I'm from, you're free to do so, but I have no clue if they'll be of any help to you. I've not noticed much of the same over here. There are a few things that are similar, but we describe them differently and they're of separate variations where I'm from.
I see. Right. Well, let's take a look then. And you do so, you exchange some information. And Daoji, is there anything else you'd like to do in town?
I'm ready to go to the university whenever you guys are.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'm good to go. There's nothing
whenever
else.
Arthur's ready.
Or yeah, before we leave, I'll go over to my wardens and everything.
At this point, it's
And,
probably getting later in the afternoon. So,
Okay. Yeah, this will be the last thing I have to do before I'm fully ready to leave.
okay.
So yeah, I'll go meet up with Carradine over there at the new property.
Alright. You see him, he's leaning back. There's some workers in there. He's leaning back against a wall watching them. As you walk in, he turns and says, "Hey, how's it going, boy?"
You are being as lazy as ever, you old lout, I see.
I'm not the one being paid to redo this stuff. Think of me as
True
a
enough.
supervisor.
Here, this is a list that I've compiled of various changes I would like done. I need to leave the city for a while. I'm going up north towards the university.
He looks through it and pauses. So you want the secret wall to be like this, eh?
Yes. Using our usual locking mechanisms and the vaults brought over as well. Pretty much we're going to be operating out of here from now on, and
Hmm.
I've also thought of a name for the brewery.
What's that?
The Warden's Reserve. I feel like it is a good way to make our mark on the city.
Alright. Warden's Reserve. I'll have to keep that. Well,
And I trust you still have some of the gold that I left earlier in the treasury.
yes.
You haven't drank it all, have you?
Well, a little bit, but not all of it.
Well, allow me to add a little bit more, just in case. And, yeah, I'll hand him 4,000 to put into the treasury.
I'll
Yeah,
make
'cause I
sure it
already
gets
put
there,
a
boy.
1,000 in there before. Alright.
I'll have to keep Dariel around. His prissy elf hands can help us carry that damn thing. Thing weighs a ton, you know?
Good thing, I've heard the dwarves are quite strong.
Aye, that we are, but I'm getting old, boy.
Aren't we all?
I'm not.
You're not here, Pink Pan.
And I never will. Yeah.
Well, the rest of the crew are on the ship. Today, they're taking a little day off, I suppose.
That's understandable. I don't exactly at the moment have orders for you. More of right now, the most pressing matter is getting this place up and running. You guys can look at it as leisurely time.
Alright. Well, we'll get her up and running by the time you're back.
Very well then. I expect I'll be gone for a month, so I hope to see some results when I come back.
Aye, she'll be spick and spam, my boy. We'll have the brewery up and running. That kid's... What's he doing? A school? That'll be ready as well. And we'll
Look after
have
them,
our
will you?
basement done. Don't worry.
Yes, look after those children as well.
I'll
I mean a
look
lot to
after
my
them.
new friend.
Don't worry. No, nothing bad's gonna be going on in here while I'm around.
I believe it, except you're drinking.
Well, I gotta sample it before I sell it.
True enough. Right then.
If you need to talk to anyone else, they're on the ship. I'll be here overseeing the production, the work. Making sure everything is up to our standards.
No, I believe you you can handle it from here.
Right? Nothing I
Be
haven't
well,
done
my friend,
before.
until I return.
Right, don't go getting yourself killed.
You know me. I like knocking on death's door every now and then.
Right, I do know you, so be careful out there.
Right then. And yeah, with that, it's everything Arthur needs to do.
Okay. So, anything else before we progress to and head out?
Think. No, Daoji's supposed to be avoiding the syndicate, so I'm supposed to be just laying low. He's just waiting to get out of the city, probably.
All right.
So I'm good.
Okay. So you guys, as you return to the inn, you see the mages are talking to a burly-looking man, Arthur. You can see the exchange of gold before they sit down and start to call to the barkeep to order some food for the evening.
I'll walk up and sit next to them. Hired muscle for the road.
Well, not quite, says the woman. These going to be driving our cart for us.
Ah, I see.
He's moving a few things up that way, so we'll be riding along with him.
Right then. Well, I have everything I need in order.
We'll be
I'm
leaving
ready
in the
when you
morning.
are.
So, he's going to meet us by the eastern gate at sunrise,
Yes.
so be sure you're there, or you'll be left behind.
I understand. Yeah, I'm done for the day. I'll go out and buy just provisions for the journey type
All
deal.
right.
Make sure my horse is fed, saddled, all that stuff.
Okay.
Daoji's gonna be MIA. You're probably not gonna be able to find him, Arthur. He's gonna be gone all night.
Boring, no doubt.
Are you going to get your clothes before you head out?
Martha's gonna be done in a week.
No, it was like just a couple days.
Well, shit, if they're ready, I'll take them.
Okay. Yep, so go get your clothes from the
Yeah, I'll
tiefling
go into
woman.
the
You can-
tailors and ask for my fancy new robes.
Yep, you're greeted with the heavy smell of incense as the woman.
Yeah, Daoji comes inside and just reminds me of home.
Oh, don't be so melodramatic. Here you are, darling. Should be fit as new. Just don't get them so holy again. They were a nightmare. And they have a bit of fur inside of them, so they should keep you warm through the coming months.
Fantastic. Did I pay you for these already?
Yes, you did.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll just run over and throw them on. I'm like, oh, that's nice. What is this? What kind of fur did you use?
Well, we have plenty of hunters around. I procured some fox fur for the tunic here. And rabbit for the sleeves. A bit smaller. It'll get you through for the winter.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Right.
Really
Yes.
great. I'm
Don't
actually heading out
be-
tomorrow, so
Yes, well, looks like snow. So
oh. Yeah, it doesn't usually get so cold where I'm from.
we get the full range of elements here. It's good to be prepared for such things, and these clothes beforehand certainly were not.
Ugh.
If you
Alright.
need any other clothing, be sure to come by.
Yeah, I'll do that. And like I said, if you ever need anything from me, just let Mama K know.
I'll keep that in mind. Very well.
Sweet. I'm
And
gonna do finger handstand and make my way out of the place, testing out my new clothes.
yep, she just turns to a new mannequin and starts sewing on something else as you leave. So, if there's nothing else you guys would like to do,
I'm ready.
Yeah, no, I'm good to go.
the evening passes without a hitch. And as morning comes, I'm assuming you guys are heading to the east gate to meet with the mages.
Yes.
So, you can see them and a large, burly man. He's got a thick beard. And
Daoji, he's probably already there, and he's sitting up on top of the walls, like crouching, watching over everybody as they show up.
mhm. And as you get close, you can smell that the man. There's a thick musk of alcohol off of his breath as he's talking to the mages, hitching up the horses. And he looks to you as you approach Arthur and says, "Ah, this one is coming with us." One of the woman says, "Yes, he's one of the researchers with us. He'll be coming along as well." And the child there, she motions to Ellie.
Ha! Baby.
I'm
Well, I'm
assuming
ready,
you
dude.
guys invited Malnik along, or
Yeah, he's
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Malnik hops into the back of the cart. Well, If you don't mind me, I'm gonna catch some more sleep as we ride. And he lays down in the back of the cart, starts snoring almost immediately. And as you guys travel, the mages are sitting at the front next to the carriage driver, and you can see they have the snow has started coming down pretty heavy by this point, and they are producing small balls of flame in front of the horses to melt the path in front of them. So
Daoji's gonna stay on foot, and he'll just walk behind the cart a couple feet.
as you do so, a couple days in, Malnik rolls over and says, "You know, there's plenty of room back here, Daoji."
Riding in comfort would hardly be a workout, now wouldn't it, Mommy?
Well, I don't like working out. I get enough workout when I fight.
Well, when you do the things I do, you kind of have to stay as fit as you possibly can. You know what I mean?
You damn Easterners are all weird.
How many have you met?
Just one, and he's really weird.
Oh. There, you got me. Well,
Walking beside the cart.
part of me hopes that one day you have a chance to meet some more. Part of me hopes you never, ever have to meet any more of me. If you think I'm bad, you should be my master, Monik.
What'd he do?
Well, there's a funny story. My master, he lives up on a mountain. And on the surrounding mountains, there are other masters of different arts and schools. When I first arrived, I went up to one of the mountains and I begged the master to take me in. And he said, "No, look at you, boy, you're filthy. You've got hands of a thief. Be gone with you." And he pulled out a cane and beat me and sent me away. And I went on another mountain and he said, "No, you're filthy. You look disgusting. Be gone." And he would kick the crap out of me and send me away. Finally, when I showed up on Jing's mountain, I saw an old man waving a bottle around, screaming at the top of his lungs at another master. Apparently they were in some kind of fight. Something about not following the spiritual way. The master got angry, and then Jing took the bottle and cracked it over his head and sent him flying all the way off the mountain. That was my master. They're a little bit more hardcore than they are over here. Let's just say that, Mona.
Hardcore in drinking or hardcore in fighting?
I did say he kicked a man off a mountain, didn't I? I didn't mean that figuratively.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I live inside the mountains, so I don't know if anyone's throwing them off them or not, but...
Yeah, he took a look at me and said, "Well, what are you waiting for? Tomorrow we start your training." And that's the first thing he ever said to me without me saying a word to him.
Is that when he started kicking your ass?
A couple hours after that. Killed my first monster a couple days after that too, actually.
What kind of monster was it?
It was a big old, kind of looked like a bear, but it had owl feathers and it used to prowl around on some of the lesser mountains.
You get those little bastards over there too?
Yeah. Over there it's across the desert, but it's on the very western range of the country. You'll see some of the similar things around here. Further east of that is, well, it's hard to put into words what kind of place that is.
Yeah, those owl bears, I've seen them rip men apart. Traveling with caravans myself. Guards ain't ready for them. Big bastards.
Nasty creatures.
Well, if you want to walk, walk. I'm gonna drink some more.
Suit yourself. Daoji, at some points, he'll go miles just walking on handstands and doing other exercises as he walks.
As you do so, Malnik occasionally looks at you, just shakes his head, goes back to whatever he's doing. Ellie's running up with Arthur, and the mages are clearing a path ahead with their magic. This goes on for about a week and a half, and you guys are probably about halfway there because it's about a 3-week journey. The forest starts getting heavy. It gets a little harder to travel through because the mages can clear the snow for a while, but eventually their energy's spent, and you guys just have to travel through the snow for a ways. Until one day around a bend, as it gets to be evening, you still have a couple hours left in the day, but you can hear voices across around a curve. You hear a man shouting, "Well, I thought I was on the King's Road. The swearing. I ought to send him a bill for each of these damn trees I've got to clear." And as you turn, you can see a little caravan of people is stopped, and there's a couple of trees laid out across the road.
I'll go up ahead and check it out.
Well, the man turns to you, and you can see he's wearing some brightly colored
I guess
garments.
I'll follow up behind him too. Daoji will walk up too.
Yep, Ellie's probably with you guys, and you can see this man. He's wearing some brightly colored garments, and you can see some intricate designs on the side of their carts. And he turns and says, "If you're wanting to go across here, we'll have to wait. We're gonna have to clear another damn tree. This is the third one this week."
How many trees do you need to clear?
He points. "There's 3 across the road right now." He looks up.
I
Sun's gonna
glance
be
at Arthur and I say, "Don't you have something for that?"
Yeah, and I'll hop off my horse and unsheath Glamdring, and I'll just fucking chop the trees. Chop them all.
Okay. Yeah, with that sword, it won't take too long. As they, the
Just
man
does
looks.
max damage, so I'm just like, "Frah, frah."
The man looks, stroking his beard. He says, as you start doing that, he says, "You're gonna break that damn sword."
No, this sword right here. I speak the word for it, and it glows. This sword, the word for it's just gonna be Glamdring. I'm gonna speak its name, and it'll glow. This sword here can cut through anything.
Daoji's just in the background yawning.
The man
And
looks up
I'll
and says,
chop the trees and help him move them to the side.
Yeah, they strap him to the horses and move him. The man looks up and says, "Well, sun's gonna be setting soon anyways. We'll go ahead and make camp."
Well, now we have our firewood.
Fair enough. He shakes your hand. Says,
I'll
thanks for
sheath Glamdring.
helping us clear that. It would have taken us hours. Most normal folk have normal access for that sort of thing.
Different
Normal.
tools, same situation.
Where are you guys headed?
Well, we're heading up. We've got a show up near Imre. He points and set to his caravan and says, "We're the Nurad.
What is that?
What, you ain't heard of us? We put on shows, we're bards."
Oh yeah? What kind of shows? I got some cool tricks too.
Well, we play music, do different plays. Some days we get get our local mage to do some magic tricks. kids like that one. Some of the best in the land. So we'll be going up to Imre to perform. And then at the end of the month, one of the dukes up north has hired us to entertain some guests for him. But we've got wine and other assortments of goods if you'd like to join us for the evening. If not, the road's clear.
Well, it's not really up to me. I'm not in charge of this little caravan we've got here.
Fair enough.
You guys said you have wine and drinks and stuff. Have you heard anything about this stuff that comes out of the desert? Called Desert Rose.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we've heard of it. Had a bit of taste of the rose's treasures ourselves.
But you don't have any, do you?
No, we haven't been out that way, and he rubs his beard for a moment and says, "Oh God, it's been almost a year now."
Oh man. Well, that's unfortunate. So, where did you guys say you were going? Someplace called Nimre?
Imre. It's,
What's that place like?
well, it's a town of the arts. Lots of musicians and performers go there to cut their teeth. There's a place there, it's called the Triads. It's a large establishment. How would I put it? There's a big stage in the center and three stories worth of seats for the patrons and the different guests. All the best musicians who are worth their metal perform there and get their talents, or get their pipes rather. And he pulls a little necklace out from under his shirt. You can see 3 silver pipes, kind of shaped out in silver. He says, "You get yourself one of these. People know you're a renowned musician."
Oh. Music never really interested me, but I can do some cool things.
Is that
Like,
right?
hey, watch this. I'm gonna go running, and I'm gonna run up a tree, and then I'm gonna activate a key point, and I'm going to triple my jump distance and go flying off the tree. Comes out to about 42 feet, and leap.
You can see some
Do
of
a
the
flip
different
and land.
some of the different bards who are watching around start to clap. And
Yeah, land, and Daoji seems pleased with himself.
and a woman, an elvish woman says, "Huh, you ought to teach one of us that trick. It's a fancy one you got there."
Yeah, I'm not really suited at teaching that kind of thing. And I'm not sure you would I look hesitant for a second, like survive the training.
Yeah, keeping your tricks to yourself, I understand.
Oh, okay. Well, I look over at Arthur and I say, "So what do you want to do? You want to stay here or keep moving?"
I mean, didn't he say we should camp here for the night?
Who
That's
did?
the guy in the different caravan. They were stuck ahead of you guys.
Oh, okay. Well, isn't
All
our
right.
caravan camping here for the night?
Your guy
I'll
hasn't
go
said
ask.
anything yet, but you can ask him.
I'll go run back and I'll tell them what happened with the trees and say, "Hey, they're making camp here for the night and the sun's going down. What do you want to do?"
He looks over to the mages, and the man says, "We're about tapped out for the day anyways. We can go ahead and rest if you guys would like."
Okay. I'll go back and tell them, "Yeah, we'll camp here for the night with you guys. More's the merrier, right? You can tell us some of your stories."
Yeah, and the man smiles and says, "Aye, I'll tell you a whole bunch of stories. I'm a bit of a lore master myself."
Great.
Ignore those. I redid the macros for
Oh,
glam.
okay.
I'm a bit of a
gotcha.
lore mess.
Oh, did my thing break up or something?
No, I thought Arthur was gonna kill him.
Oh.
No, I redid the macros for glamdring.
So you can see they pull their carts around in a circle, and the man says, points to one of the other bars and says, "Shandy, if we're going to have you entertaining guests, why not pull down the?" And he nods to one of the carts, and she nods and says, "Right on it." You can see they pull the cart down, and it's like a mobile stage. And as they prepare dinner and you guys sit around, drink, and talk, a couple of them go up and put on some musical performances while you wait. As you do, the male mage comes up to you, Daoji, and says, "That trick you did with the tree, what exactly did you do there?"
Well, what do you mean? I jumped.
"Yes, but how?"
Well, do you want the long answer or the short answer?
Let's start with the short.
Well, the short answer is I went through a lot of training and taught myself how to do things that normal people can't do, like jump and fall from heights.
And
The last time I tried it, I think my highest fall distance was about 150 feet.
the long of it.
Well, feel it. Do you feel that breeze, the cold air?
Yes, it's quite cold out.
No, that's not the point. That breath, that feeling you get when you're standing out in the open air and the wind is moving around you. You know that the winds have names. Well,
I'm not quite sure what you're getting at here.
if you know the names of the winds, you can, well, sort of ask them to help you with this. Say, I want to use the wind to throw myself great distances. Or maybe, I look over at one of the bars and I say, "Hey, you want to try something? I won't hurt you. Real nice, neat trick."
Young man looks over and says, "I guess. What is it?"
Here, go stand out in that field and don't move.
"Oh, okay." He walks over there with a curious look at you.
I glance at the mage and I say, "Here, now watch this." And Daoji's gonna step forward a bit, and he's got his hands in his sleeves, and he exhales slowly, and then pulls out a hand, and sweeping it along the ground, he raises it up, and suddenly around you feel just this large burst of wind blowing through the area, and then starting small around the bard's feet and growing larger, a cyclone actually rises up around him. And he needs to, if he's going to make the saving throw, it's a 15th strength saving throw or be caught in the cyclone.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and as you do so, the cyclone catches him. He's like, wait a second.
Yeah,
Ah!
he lifts 5 feet off the ground and is just stuck floating there.
Put me down!
And I glance over at the mage and say, "You see what I mean?
Yes.
That's not a spell. Well, at least not how I understand it. You get your spells from books and scrolls. This is more nature at work."
I see. He pulls out a small piece of parchment and starts to write on it.
After a minute, I'll let the cyclone die down and lower him slowly to his feet again.
Yeah, you do so, and he seems a little freaked out, and some of the other musicians are kind of stopping and looking before he is Scampers back off to help the rest. Prepare dinner and everything.
Arthur will walk up. So, now fully have a grasp on it?
Something like that.
Is that what you did in that cave?
Well, not quite the same. That was a light wind. What I would do is much worse.
Impressive.
You can call it what you want.
Well, regardless, I'm happier that we're friends and not foes.
As you should be. I would say keep it that way.
Is that a threat, my friend?
Well, are you willing to go a few rounds, Arthur?
I haven't had a good sparring match in a while. Why not?
Sure. You can use your swords like you always do. I wouldn't even mind if you caught it ablaze. It wouldn't kill me.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but... Alright.
Alright then.
Yeah, fuck it. We can go.
As you do so, one of the bars says, "Hey, take it to the stage."
Alright, I'll go over and I'll walk over to where Ellie and Monic are, and I unsling my funny booze bag, and I look at both of them, and I start handing it to Monic, but then I pause and I reach over and hand it to Ellie.
Oh, come on, lad.
I'll pull out a cup and I'll fill half of it with my green funny booze, and I'll hand it to Monic, and I say, "If there's anything more missing, you're next."
You call this a... Fine.
Hey, I only have 5 bottles of that.
Then why don't we go get some more?
Because we have to help Ellie with her thing, Molly.
Oh my god.
Listen, I understand. Why do you think I ask about it everywhere we go?
It's so good.
I made a promise to Ellie, and I'm going to see it through before I decide to go back to my country.
Alright.
Now, when you're willing to go across the desert with me, I will personally, Monic, I will carry you across
Gods,
the
we've
desert
got to
with
go
me.
across a desert.
Well, about halfway, I think.
Oh, Lord.
I
He
walked the
takes a
whole
drink.
thing. You can do it.
I'm a dwarf. I'm not made for deserts, lad. I'm made for stone.
That's a good point. Well, look, they're very, very tiny stones.
They're not at all. I know what sand is, boy.
I don't think I do. Look, hold on. I gotta go beat
Oh,
up.
I need a drink. He just chugs the whole fucking glass you gave him. Just go fight.
All right, I'll jump up on stage and say, "Hey, Arthur, you like my new robe, by the way?"
They're nice. I like the addition of fur.
Yeah.
Maybe you won't catch pneumonia this time.
Stop it.
He doesn't
Right.
know that word. All right. Go ahead and roll initiative then.
Oh,
Ha.
I rolled a 15. Knocked out in the first blow.
How far away are we standing?
I'd say it's probably 30 feet.
30
That's a
feet.
big stage. Damn.
Yeah, these are pretty big. What it is they like pull. They have two wagons that pulls down
Oh.
into the stages and they bring them together.
Oh, okay.
This is how they do stages on the road.
I stand there with my hands in my sleeves and I bow to Arthur and I say, "Well, good luck to you anyway."
Arthur will bow back. And you the same, my friend.
So you were curious about what I was doing with that dragon before, right?
Yes.
Well, let me show you.
Right.
Arthur, you're gonna need to make a dex saving throw.
Alright. +3. Oh! 6.
So as soon as you say "you two," Daoji pulls out his hands and assumes a stance, and then you see his eyes. It wasn't like how it was in the cave, but his eyes kind of just go dead serious for a moment, and then waving his two hands back and forth, you start feeling that same gust of wind blowing. And then suddenly, wind rushes all around you. You feel it rise up slightly, and then a huge force of weight of the wind drops on top of you. You take 35 points of damage, and you are knocked prone, I believe.
It's dark outside, right?
Yeah, the sun's setting.
Okay, cool. 146 minus 35. Alright, I'll stand up. That was a neat little trick. And I'll unsheath Glamdring and light it ablaze. I'll take an additional 12 damage from that.
Daoji smirks.
And yeah, I'll go in and fuck, finally. So 19, that hits, right?
Yeah.
Alright. 19 damage.
Okay.
This
He's
is going to be the
slashing.
fight where Arthur cuts a limb off.
Jesus, please no. Oh god, this sword can do that.
Yeah, you better pray, boy.
Holy shit.
Better knock me out before I cut your leg off.
God damn it, okay. Let me look at my abilities.
Oh, man.
Alright, I guess I will, boop. 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 Oh.
Oh. Good
And,
hit.
let's do that real quick. So that's, 28 points of damage, and you have to make a dex saving throw.
$14.
Right, so as you slash, Daoji staggers back and feels a burn wound. And then he goes forward, throws a couple of punches, and then one roll behind you and sweeping out your legs, knocking you prone. And with my last attack,
Miss.
I had-
I'm going to repost
No,
from the ground.
it wasn't a miss. It was advantage if you were prone.
Oh, 27. Okay, yeah, that hits.
Yep. So you're gonna take a extra 8. So 28 plus 8, 36.
Oh, man. Yeah, so I'll just stand back up. It's a neat trick. I can do it as well. And I've never used it before, but part of Martial Adept, I will use a trip attack. And I get to add a d6 to my damage if I hit, and you make a strength save. So yeah, 19, 16. I get to add.
16 misses.
Oh, 16 misses. Okay, so wait. 15. Okay, what was I doing? 1d6. So 17 damage, and you have to make a strength save.
What's the DC on that?
It just says strength saving throw or gets knocked prone.
Let me look at...
But you need to know the DC for it.
It didn't have a DC. Hold on, let me look in
It'd-
fighter.
Yeah, it'd be under fighter.
The trip attack. Hold on. Shit. Go to the fucking page, damn it.
Let's see here. For fighter, maneuver save DC is 8 plus proficiency plus your strength or dex modifier. Your choice.
Okay, so 8 plus proficiency is
What's that, 4 by now? 5?
Well,
yeah, so 8.
My proficiency is still +4, so
Yeah, mine's +4 as
then,
well.
So
Plus
12 and then strength.
strength or dex.
Yep.
They're both the same, so 15. Yeah,
but that's what I just rolled.
yeah, you made it.
Your strength is only +2? Or +3?
No, plus 3, yeah.
Okay.
I only have a 17 in strength.
Oh, okay. I thought you had like an 18.
No. I have 18 in Constitution, 18 in Wisdom.
Mm.
Yeah, so you
So he just
go to
barely
trip
passed it.
him. Daoji just throws up a foot, and I don't know how you were gonna trip him, but like he just throws up a foot and blocks him.
A low sweeping kick.
Yeah, I'll kick away your foot,
Oh,
and
damn
then
it.
I'll
Oh yeah, I had it right there. DC's are 15. Okay.
see how my luck is.
That 15 misses, 11 misses.
Oh no, that 15 was my DC.
Oh, so that 11 misses.
So you need to make a you need to make a Constitution saving throw. And you take 16 points of damage.
Okay. $20.
Alright, so he goes up and he punches you in the solar plexus, and you feel your muscles tense up, but probably get to shake it off.
I've been chomped on by T-Rexes.
I know, I was there. You've also fallen from great heights.
And so I will use bonus action to... I'll trace the signs Gall in the air. And yeah, as my bonus action... Ah, fuck. I'm only hitting once. 17 hits, though.
No, it doesn't. My AC is 18.
Oh, shit. So I didn't hit any. Never mind.
Shit.
Damn, we have the same AC.
It's because I boosted my fucking wisdom last time. Alright. Boop, boop. Boopity boop. Kazam. And, take 44 points of damage.
Wow.
Ouch.
As Daoji, you activate Gall, and Daoji's eyes go wide as he sees it coming, and he's like, oh, you actually hear under his breath, oh shit. And then he does a side roll, and as you swing, he rolls behind you, and he stands up and he says, hey old man, how's your back? And then he starts just into your back.
Oh.
How are you looking after
Alright.
that?
I'm at 39. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. I am going to say, alright, that's how you're gonna do it. Ebrazisht and use Blood Curse of Mutual Suffering. Lasts for 4 rounds as a bonus action, and then fucking A. 16 damage is what you take this
It's
round.
a shame you don't have a precision mutagen.
I know. I know. Trust me, I know.
What are you
He
down?
knows, AJ.
What are you down to, Daoji?
Hardly touched him.
I'm at 57.
Damn, this would be closer if you'd actually hit the guy.
Yeah, if I started off with the fucking Mutual Suffering curse,
Yeah, it'd be a
Yeah.
lot closer.
and now I have it. I'm rubber, you're glue. Everything you say bounces off of me and sticks back to you.
God damn it.
Alright. Hit.
Miss. Hit. Miss. Luck 'em. I dare you.
I'll luck the one. I'll luck the, Yeah. You know what? Can I take back that last roll and instead use a dodge action?
I don't know about that.
All right, that's fair enough. All right,
I think once the dice are down, it's too late.
That's fair enough. All right, I'll luck the 2. So the first one is a crit, and the third one Hits.
Alright, you take half of that.
So you take 18 from that, Doji?
41.
Oh, never mind. I'm unconscious. If that was 41,
20.
I'm like, you take half of it, and I get knocked unconscious.
Oh,
Yep,
so half
so I
of
get
41,
the way
so
you
that's
feel it.
20.
The way you feel it is since I cut you and your blood was on my blade, I put like pretty much a curse on your blood, and you feel it as soon as you knock me unconscious, just this dark, evil, necrotic feeling just creeps through you.
I hit you when I hit you square in the jaw and you tumble back, but Daoji's on stage and he's just standing there writhing, like his back arches and he's just making faces.
And yeah, I'm unconscious.
Yep, and
I drop to my knees and then I stand back up and I walk over to Arthur and I say, I breathe out and then I lift up a hand and I use Breath of Life and I immediately bring him back.
stabilize him. Yeah.
Just air rushes into your lungs and it's like a shock of water.
For this use of it, I'll let you go back up to 1 HP.
Whoa, whoa.
Hey.
Well, actually,
Please.
no. If I'm knocked unconscious, my sword extinguishes and gives me my health back.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So wait, does that mean you can't be knocked out?
No, it's the
If
the
my
HP
sword's-
it takes away from him comes back, so he's
Yeah.
just left with like 10 HP.
Yeah, 12.
12.
Oh, neat.
So he's got a little
Yeah.
bit of a buffer there.
So as soon as I hit the ground, my sword extinguishes, and I just like come back and I'm like, whoa, whoa.
Howdy drops on his ass and he says, hey, never use that on me again. Actually, let's just not do that ever again.
As you guys are talking, the bards are kind of up there clapping, but
I look over at Daoji. Next time I'm starting with that. Oh man. Yeah, you
That
punch hard and
sucks.
that wind fucking hurts.
and
It's
at this
like
point,
a shockwave through my body. It's like electricity.
you hear a voice call out, "All right, nobody move. We're taking the mages." And
What?
you can, as you look over, you
fuck?
see a couple of cloaked figures with their hands around the mages. One of them has a hand crossbow pointed towards the crowd.
I look at Daoji and I give him a nod.
I'm gonna pass him my superior healing potion, and I'm gonna stand up and use my action to get 36 hit points back.
All right.
I'll chug that superior. Superiors are 8d4, right?
Yeah.
But, see, we're just going to go back up to top of initiative. So Daoji's going to do that and give himself 36 HP.
Yep. So I'm back at 73.
I get 29.
So at this point, we're just standing on the stage, like watching them, not initiating anything yet.
Yeah, and they've, you can see Ellie and Malnik are now on their feet. Malnik, though, fucking drunk off his ass, off of your shit.
Daoji watches on like a proud child, like a proud parent.
The bandits grab the mages who have expended all their energy clearing snow today, so they can't really do too much, and start to move back into the forest. The one, you can see he has a great sword at his back, the other has a hand crossbow that's pointing at the crowd. The bards are all sitting there, hands kind of at their side, not moving. Arthur, you chug your potion?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll chug 2 if you'll allow it. That'll be my whole turn.
Alright. Sure.
I'll chug a greater also.
Daoji,
Get another 16.
in the effort of making them not hurt anybody in this 6 seconds, Daoji's gonna call out to them and say, hey, who are you guys?
The man with the great sword calls out and says, "Hey, don't worry about that. We're just taking these guys off your hands and being on our way."
Why?
Well, that's not much of your business, is it? We got paid to do a job, that's what we're doing.
Oh, you hear that, Arthur? They're businessmen like us.
Oh. Well, let's introduce them to our business.
Ellie moves a little closer to him, but isn't going to do much in the hostage situation. She's kind of looking back towards you, Arthur. Malnick,
I'm gonna give her a nod as well.
Malnick drunkenly says, "Oh, he ain't gonna let you have him," and he fucking chucks his hammer.
Yes, throw the hammer. I love that hammer.
You want me to bring the hammer down?
Yeah, okay, I'll bring the hammer down.
And misses both times.
Damn it.
Oh, stop.
He's
That's a bird,
drunk.
Monic. Monic, that was a bird.
So he's drunk and he's like stumbling around, and as he goes to throw, he stumbles, and his hammer just goes. You hear a large tree limb snap and crash to the ground as it returns to his hand, nearly knocking him on his ass as he catches it. He's like, "Oh, are they in two places at once?
Daoji's extremely proud.
You fuckers!" And we're back up to Daoji.
How far away is the bow-wielding dickhead?
They're both about 90 feet away from you guys.
90 feet. Okay.
They were at the back of the crowd.
Well, let's see here. I will whoosh over there. I'm going to activate Step of the Wind, which will give me...
That gives you like a dash action, right?
Right.
As a bonus action.
Yep, so I'll
Yeah,
dash
so you just have
the
infinite
60
movement now.
feet, and then I'll use another 30 feet of my normal movement to just immediately close the distance. I jump over and just fucking flash step right up to the archer's face. And I say, you know, this really wasn't a good idea. And then I'm going to, do this, I guess. Maybe not.
Where were those rolls when you were fighting me, man?
Those do
I
not
don't know, I
hit.
needed them to beat you up. Do these
So-
hit?
No, they do not.
Oh, well,
So as you get a closer look, as you run forward, you can see underneath their cloaks, they've each got plate mail on.
oof.
As you go to swing, you nearly hit the female mage. She cries out, "No, don't!" You pull your punch as he tosses her to the ground, dropping his crossbow and pulling out his longsword.
Aw, okay.
It is now their turn. The man with the claymore is going to toss the mage down and says, "Don't go too far. I'll be back for you." He's going to take a swing at you. Your armor class is 18 now.
Yep.
One of his attacks is going to hit.
Pretty cool.
23 points of damage.
Damn, boy.
Claymore's hurt.
Pretty substantial.
And he rolled pretty much max damage on that. So as he brings it down the first time, you dodge out of the way, but the second time, it catches you off guard as it cuts clean across your hip, sending blood into the snow. The second one with the longsword is going to try to hit you as well. That's a miss. And that's a miss, but as he swings, you're able to dodge around him. Arthur, you're 90 feet away.
Since it's dark out, it's pretty much dark at
Oh
this
yeah,
point, right?
yeah. After the
Yeah.
fight, like the twilight has set and it's now dark.
Arthur's gonna leave the stage and back away into the shadows a little bit, and then he's gonna go around. I only have 40 feet of movement, so I can go up 40 feet, and I will throw a oil bomb at the claymore wielding guy.
Okay. And is that just cover him in oil?
Yeah,
All right. Go ahead and make a ranged attack.
that's using dexterity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So slash R 1D 21.
Yeah. So you toss it and it slams against his armor, and just spreads across it.
And as a bonus action, I will ingest uh, Are we gonna take any penalties for fighting in darkness? Like
I'd imagine. Oh yeah, you guys don't have dark vision, do you?
No.
They
Yeah,
didn't
you'll
set up
probably
any
be-
lights or anything?
Well, yeah,
Oh,
there's
torches?
like torches around. So yeah, you guys would be just on the edge of it where
Dim light.
where you can still attack them. If they
Okay.
if they move any farther out, it'll be in the darkness though.
Alright, I'll ingest a precision mutagen then.
Okay.
And yeah, that's my turn.
Ellie is going to come forward, and she moved forward last turn as well. She's going to be able to get up next to you, Daoji. Misses, hits. And she hits the Claymore guy for 15 points of damage.
Yep.
She rushes up the first one, clinking off the armor, but the second one she finds an opening in the armor and stabs straight through. You can see now his armor is coated in oil, and you can see that the cloak around it is starting to get damp with blood. So Malnik tries to toss his hammer again. Let's see if his
He
drunk
looks
ass,
over like, oh god, no.
if his drunk ass can hit. Well, there's a nat 20 that turned into a 19.
He's rolling with disadvantage?
He's drunk, man.
God damn it.
He's fucking wasted. He did hit once, though.
AJ punishes the player this session. Punish players.
Let's see. Still, though, since he's throwing, he gets an extra d8 with that. So, the one that hit for 19 points of damage. He's hitting that longsword guy. So as he tosses the first time, it slams into a tree, and you can see the tree just splinter. As he swings again, it cracks right into the chest of the longsword guy. You can see his armor, like just a big concave dent in his armor now. And as you hear just underneath it, just several bones crack from Malnik's mighty hammer.
Mighty indeed it is.
So we're back up to Daoji.
So, Arthur is 50 feet away from one of them?
I think so.
Which
yeah,
one?
I can only move 40 feet.
They're
Like-
both pretty much side by side at this point.
Alright.
Say we're both next to each other. They both had a mage, and we're moving back, trying to make a retreat.
Alright, so the Claymore asshole, I'm gonna step to the side, and I'm gonna... Nat 1.
Oh my god.
No more. Not this again.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Wow.
Please, no. The 17 hit?
Just barely.
Alright.
Ooh.
Alright, so he's gonna take 18 points of damage, and I'm gonna use both hits to, he needs to make 2 strength saving throws of 15, or I'm gonna punch his ass over to Arthur. So Arthur's in range this turn. The one that's covered in oil.
Strength save of 15.
Yeah, he needs to make 2.
First one passed. Second one failed.
Right, so you only needed to fail 1. Now Arthur's in range this turn.
So as you quickly twirl to the side of him, a few quick jabs, just cracking your knuckles on his armor, before you finally just throw up a foot and kick him, bending his armor inwards as you just send him the 30 feet, I think it is, towards Arthur.
15.
15. I'm used to 12.
All right, yeah, so I can run up to him now.
Yeah, it is the bandit's turn now. The one with the long sword is going to try to hit you again, Daoji.
Please, no.
That's a nat 20.
Oh, god, luck.
Alright. Nat 18, but it's not a nat 20. The second one also hits.
Oh, no.
So he swings twice, hitting you for 24 points of damage.
Oh, well, that's not really good.
No, it's not. As he slices into you once right across the chest and then stabs, getting you right in the shoulder as he twists. You kick him off of you, but they're dealing damage. The second one is gonna spit and then turn and look to you, Arthur, and he says, "All right, we'll pry the mages out of your dead fucking hands then." So he's gonna walk up to you, swing once, swing twice. Second one misses, but the first one hits. For 16 points of damage, Arthur.
16?
As he creams you with the first one, slashing straight upwards, cutting across right up your chest and nicking your chin. The second one, though, you parry to the side. It is now your turn.
Alright, I hate to do it, but I'm gonna fucking risk it. I'm gonna ignite my sword. And, oof. Hold on. Yeah, oof. Yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna ignite my sword. And, yeah, I'm gonna take swings at him. Oh, that's fucking... The first one's a crit.
Yep.
Second one doesn't hit.
Nope.
Yeah, okay. Nice, so,
So an extra 13 damage?
Yep.
Yeah. 30 points.
30 points, and, let me roll that d10. 7, so 37 points of damage.
And since you crit, go ahead and roll a d20 again.
Oh, yeah.
Do it, do it, do it.
17.
Almost,
Damn
but
it.
not quite.
So fucking close.
Either way,
5% chance.
as you strike at this guy the first time, he parries it away with a laugh and says, "What? All tuckered out after your little play date up on the stage with these charlatans?" And then you strike
No,
again.
that was a setup.
And as you say that, you strike again, your sword of sharpness cutting Glamdrin, cutting straight through his armor, igniting his cloak. As he drops to his knees, "What the bloody hells?" As before it starts to catch, he tries to get his robe off, but it gets wrapped around himself as the fire damage kills him.
Ha!
All tuckered out from a flame. I say as he's dying. As he's burning to a crisp.
Ellie was about to go and help you, Arthur, but looks, just shrugs and turns and starts to hit the longsword guy again.
Rug.
Hitting him both times.
He's on fire, fuck him.
Fuck him up.
Damn, for 30 damage. God damn, Ellie. She stabs once into the guy's guts, and then turns, pirouettes around him and slashes across his back. He's not looking good anymore. Malnik, drunkenly walking forward. "Don't worry, I'll get him."
Hit the deck.
Yeah.
Miss. And a miss. So he's chucking this thing. He's seeing double. What? He's like, "Don't worry, Daoji. I got him." It's your turn, Daoji.
Daoji drops low and covers his head.
As the hammer just fucking swooshes past, nearly clubbing you.
Jesus. So, my turn?
Yep.
Alright, let's do this.
Oh! There
What
they
the
are.
fuck?
It's the karma. The karma's coming
Yep.
back around.
2 1s, 2 20s.
The scales must be balanced.
Everything in perfect balance. I'm gonna snap him. Oh,
Yep.
it's only an extra 6 points of damage, so 37.
Still enough.
Yep, just I'm in pain, so I just I'll wait for him to swing his sword and then plant my foot. I do that straight up kick where I kick the sword out of his hands and then I step forward, 2 punches right where I dent his plate, just 2 straight punches, and then a single left roundhouse punch, and just clock him right in the chin.
You do so, and he just goes flying onto his back, plopping down in the snow.
Where did these assholes come from?
Ellie
Ugh.
shrugs and says, "They came out of the woods while you guys were fighting, I think. I didn't see them until they got the mages over there."
Oh, I want to go over and check them, see what they got in their pockets.
Yeah, I'll check the Claymore guy.
Roll investigation checks.
Oh boy. Yep.
My investigation is... Fuck is that at? +3.
I'm gonna ask Ellie to help me.
Yeah, she comes down and starts to poke through the pockets with you.
6, damn it.
Hey, you like sixes too?
Yeah.
Roll for Ellie.
Ellie the savior, because we can't pass skill checks.
Yeah, she rolled a nat 16.
That a girl.
So as you guys are poking through, Ellie, she's like, "Hang on a second." And in the bag, she pulls out a knife and cuts at some of the seams. It's like, "Oh, what's this?" And she pulls up a looks like a little pendant. It's blood red and has it's like 3 triangles that all intersect in the center. Seems to be some sort of symbol.
Huh. Does that look familiar?
No, I've never seen it before.
Well, this one, unlike Arthur, I didn't burn this one to death, so when he wakes up, maybe we can ask him some questions.
Maybe.
I'll look over at the mages and I say, "Hey, does this pendant look familiar to you guys?"
They, the man comes over and says, "No, I can't say I've seen it before, but this sort of thing isn't my field of study. I'm more into the biology, you see, checking out, like, investigating life, not so much symbols and their runic meanings."
Oh. Well, I'm sure Arthur can have his fun when this guy wakes up and find out some more.
Yes.
Arthur walks up gladly. Yeah, I'll hog tie this guy and drag him over to a tree and tie him to that tree.
Alright.
And yeah, I'm gonna rest for a little bit, and then once I'm recuperated, see if our guest is awake.
So what are you taking?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah, I'm gonna take like a quick little short rest.
Okay.
I guess I'll do that too.
Alright.
Jeez. Another 32.
I'll roll one more. Fuck. Good enough for now. Just in case.
Yeah, as you guys are resting, Molnick just leans up against one of the wagons near the fire, and you can hear him snoring after a little while.
Daoji just rubs his temples. He's like, "I only gave him half of a cup. Come on, Molnick. Rookie
says,
numbers."
"Well, that's about what knocked you out for a week."
Yeah, Daoji, yeah, I wasn't lying when that stuff is strong. I said it's strong.
I give you both a stink eye. I'm starting to maybe think that wasn't true.
See how long he stays drunk for.
Well, he's a dwarf. I think he's constantly drunk.
He has a
At
point,
least that's what he tells me.
I don't think I've seen Molnick not drink.
Right? He keeps it in his beard. Sometimes when we're walking along, he's sucking on it.
Does he really?
That's
Yeah.
fucking disgusting.
Yeah, don't you know they make it in their beards when they don't have it somewhere else?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, now you fucking know.
That's nasty.
That's very, very fucking disgusting. And risk, man, I pulled a risk. I'm glad I killed that Claymore guy because when I lit my sword of flame, I went all the way down to fucking 22 health.
The next turn, if you didn't kill him, I was gonna use that hurricane shit on him.
Good, because he probably would have fucking killed me.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
kill range.
Yep. Oh man. Well, now that I'm all rested up, I'm gonna go slap the prisoner in the face until he wakes up.
As you walk over, he's glaring at you. I'd imagine you gagged him.
Yeah, he's gagged, tied up, and tied to a tree.
So he's glaring at you. Bruised face, an eye black and swollen shut.
I'm gonna kneel, like I'm gonna squat down to where I'm like eye to eye with him. And where is it at? Hold on. Yeah, using my my unsettling nature, I'm gonna squat down before I ungag him, and I'm gonna say, "You're gonna tell me everything that I want to know. Won't resist, because if you do, what I will do to you is gonna be worse than death. You'll wish that I will kill you. I will drag it on for as long as it needs to go, until I have the information that I need from you.
Roll an intimidation.
And I will do it with advantage, because that's what I am able to do. Alright. Dice don't fail me. Fuck my life. Holy shit, 13. What the fuck?
Boy, howdy.
Yeah. Boy, howdy indeed. And after I say that and everything, I will ungag him.
As you do, he spits a tooth at your feet and says, "Fuck you, mate."
Alright.
Daoji walks over and he points at the tooth like, "Hey, I think I knocked that one out."
Yeah,
Wow.
I think I'm gonna knock this out. And I'm gonna draw my knife, and I'm going to stab it directly down into his kneecap.
Yeah, he screams out, his knee twitching and jerking under the pain.
I'm gonna like shove my hand over his mouth real quick, just pressing as hard as I can, and I'm gonna look him square in the eyes. I told you what was gonna happen. Now we do it my way.
Roll another intimidation.
Fuck my life. Holy
Oh
shit,
my
man.
The dice want him to suffer.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna uncover his mouth. I'm gonna stab into his other kneecap.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn and take Ellie and I'll say, "Hey, let's go somewhere else for a bit."
Alright. As you guys head back into the camp. So.
And yeah, I'm gonna work on him for a few minutes.
So you do that. And as Daoji and LA return, you can see the mages kind of sitting next to the fire, glass of wine in their hands as they're sipping on it.
Everybody okay?
Yes, they didn't hurt us, but it was quite a shock.
Is there any reason somebody will be after you? I mean, didn't you say you were just nature researchers?
Yes, I'm not sure myself. We were just sent to test this illusion magic we've come up with and to see about getting more data about these creatures that were too dangerous to study up close in the field. But, well, maybe
They said that they were hired to get you, which means somebody wants you for some reason.
maybe they want our research. I'm not sure myself. That's the only reason we were out here.
Maybe they want your ability to conjure those creatures. I mean, they were pretty nasty. I can't imagine that's a common skill.
No, but the illusions themselves that we conjure are non-lethal.
Hmm.
I mean, he takes a sip. Perhaps a stronger mage could make them lethal, but, well, I have no interest in that. I'm only in it for the data.
Well, other people are in it for the destruction.
It's possible.
Hmm.
Oh, looks over. I suppose your friend will be finding out anyways.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
there's about a 50% chance that he kills him and a 50% chance we find out, so until then we'll just take a break.
I'm gonna light the knife ablaze using my Crimson Right, and I'm gonna cauterize the wounds that I made.
Alright.
Still hurting. Still very much giving him pain.
Yeah, he's screaming under your mouth. You can feel the spit and blood on your hand.
Then I'm gonna take the knife and I'm gonna press it against like his shoulder. And I'm gonna say, now let me ask again.
Make
Who sent you?
one more intimidation check.
Yeah, one more. If not, he's fucking dying.
I think the guy just wanted him to die.
Yeah.
Yup.
So as you say that,
I uncover his mouth and give him a chance.
as you do so, he spits more blood out into the snow and laughs under his breath and says, "Yeah, and what do you think they'll do to me if I say a word? When they paid me, they paid for my silence. I ain't a squealer. 'Cause
I can respect that.
if I squealed, they'd kill me anyway, so fucking do it."
No, I'm not gonna kill you. But I can't promise that you'll leave these woods alive. And yeah, I tied him up to a tree, like far enough away in the woods outside of camp. I'm just gonna leave him there. I'm just gonna walk away. The wolves will finish the rest for me.
Alright.
And I'll walk up to Daoji and ask him, you have that pin still? I can still get some information from that.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, I'll take the pin and I'll go sit down and what skill was it? Yeah, Grim psychometry. I can take 10 minutes to meditate on an object to discern vague details about evil or wicked past. And it's a wisdom ability check.
Alright. Go ahead and roll. It's probably gonna be a pretty high DC, but go ahead and roll a wisdom check.
Alright, hold on a second.
About 30 minutes after Arthur gets back, Sal's just gonna get up and I'm gonna go try my hand at talking to the guy.
Wisdom ability is +4. Fucking A, I don't have any type of advantage on this.
+4 is respectable.
17. Fucking there we go. Well, did that make it?
So, not as much information as you could have gleaned, but you'll get something out of it.
Alright.
As you meditate on this, you see vague details at best in shadowy corners of seedy bars. A man and his partner exchanging gold and gold from a man wearing a similar pendant. 3 triangles intersecting in the center, red pendant. The details are shadowy and muggy at best. You glean that the man seems to be young, oddly enough, but specific details about him are unknown. They leave the bar, and you can see a city you haven't been to before. They pass through each of them, pass through, and you can smell as they're walking the distinct smell of a meat shop near the bar as they pass, and you can see a sign with a hog's head on it, and with the that you glean to be a meat shop with a... This seems to be on the bottom story of a multi-story building. Only 2 stories, but the second story seems to just be a room. As they pass by that, you can see a large dome-like structure. Then it fades. It doesn't seem that they were handed these pendants. Perhaps they had them before?
Alright. I'll walk up to one of the mages, and after I'm finished with that, I didn't get much from this, but what I did see was a bar, and next to it a meat shop with a hogshead, and in the distance a large domed building. Does that sound familiar to you?
Yes, it sounds like the triads in Imre, the dome structure. Don't know much about the meat shops there.
This triads, is it a group or a city?
It's just the... well, it's just an establishment. It's the dome structure you saw. It reminds me of the triads. It's just a high class, I guess you could call it, estate for bards and the such to go and play. Patrons come, pay them good money for it. It's across the river from the university.
Maybe I'll pay that place a visit. I think I'll hold on to this pendant. Triads and this pendant.
As far as the bar,
Something
I'm
could
not
be
sure.
similar.
There are a couple of different bars in Imre.
I'm pretty sure when I'm there I can find the one that they pass through.
I see.
Well,
What is that? Some sort of divination magic? Are you scrying over there?
something similar. The world is connected through a string, a tapestry, if you will. Evil deeds can be traced through that. I can see vague details if an object is connected to some evil nature.
Interesting.
Men were very much that.
Yes, a specific form of scrying, then. I see.
Yes.
Well, I think I am going to retire for the evening. The woman stands up. Yes, I think I will as well. It's been a long day. Bye.
Well, Daoji, being as to our dwarven friend is indisposed at the moment.
You look up and you see Daoji's one.
Oh. Awesome. Gone, just like the wind.
Ellie.
So Ellie, I
comes
guess
up.
it's
Yep.
you and I for watching guard tonight.
Yeah. I think I will be alright. Hopefully no more
I'll take
of those
first
guys
shift.
come.
Yes, I'll wake you all if they do. I'll take first shift. You get some rest.
Alright. Are you sure? You look pretty beat up.
I'll be fine, I promise.
Alright then. Good night then, Arthur.
And I'll sit guard.
Alright, so Daoji, as you walk your way through the woods, you find the man tied to a tree, his eye blackened, swollen shut. Blood near...
Right, I pass through the snow fields and I casually walk up to him and I look at him and I say, "Huh, still conscious, huh? Impressive."
Yeah. What do you want? You coming to laugh at me? Have a go at me?
No,
Already told your friend I ain't saying shit.
I'll sit across from him. I say, I'm digging around in my bag and I say, "You got a name?"
Lucas, the fuck's it to you? Be dead
Rug.
man soon enough anyways.
"You want a drink?" I reach into my bag and I pull up the green bottle and I say, called Desert Rose. Stuff cost me about 100 gold a piece for one bottle. How's
Well,
that for a little expensive?
I'd love to sit around and drink, but he tugs at the ropes. I'm a little indisposed at the moment.
Hey, don't worry about it. I'll fill up half a cup and I'll hand it out to him and I say, "Here, open up, drink."
He takes a swig and
Give him a
says,
bit of it and sit back down and I'll finish off the rest of the cup. Still burns. Really nasty stuff, but man, really works.
It'll warm you up anyways. The fuck do you want,
Yeah.
kid?
I just look at him with sad pity and I say, you know, I'm only 22 years old. A couple of years ago, I was doing things, well, kind of like you are. Doing bad things. Going around hurting people.
Wasn't
Not
hurting
really a
no
good
one
life, is
until
it?
you got butted in.
Yeah, right. You would have hurt us for those mages, wouldn't you?
You didn't have to get involved. Should have let him go.
You would let the mages go?
No, you should have. Wouldn't have
Why?
Well, wouldn't have been bloody, would it? Over here talking about bad deeds. Your buddy chopped my buddy up. Now you want me to talk to you?
Oh, you don't have to if you don't want to. But, you know, I think everybody deserves a second chance. I'd say you made a mistake, man. You can see where that got you. You know, I'm not going to torture you. And, well, I don't want to kill you. But I'm not really obliged to save you either. If you want, you can tell me about where you got the job from. I'll do on those ropes. I won't tell my buddies about it. The road's just down that way. You follow it, head south to warmer weather. I think you'll be able to make it. Really up to you. I'll even give you some more of this stuff on it. We'll keep you warm for the night at least.
If I tell you anything about this job, it'll be my head.
Who's gonna know?
What? I'm gonna tell you and you're not gonna go rubbing your nose in it?
Why would I? I'm not even heading up there. I'm going to the university, friend. I'm gonna head there, and then I'm going back home. Really not my business. Once the mages get to the university, they can tend to themselves, you know? I don't really care.
Roll a persuasion check.
You did attack me, so... Curious. A flat D20. 11.
Rolling better than me.
Right?
He leans his head back against the tree and spits more blood into the snow and says, "Yeah, well, I know you adventuring types. You can't help but to butt into other people's business. I tell you something, this guy, he's got the money. He'll track me down to the ends of the world to cut my throat. I know better than to piss off a noble. So no, I ain't gonna tell you anything about it."
I'm just gonna stand up. And then, reaching over, I'm gonna rip off the ropes from the trees.
He gives you a weird look and stands up, steadying himself on the tree, and says, shaking his head, he says, "Ah, fucking kid. You know, do that too many times and someone will stab you right in the fucking back."
A lot of people have tried, they succeeded yet. Look, go somewhere else. You didn't tell me what I needed to know, so nobody's gonna come looking for you. You failed a job. Go find something else to do. Nobody's gonna find out.
He gives you a look and then takes off through the forest with a limp.
I'll watch him go and then I'll turn back to camp.
You see,
He won't make it far. Put my knife through both of his kneecaps.
yeah, he's stumbling, but
Not my problem. And I'll head back to camp and find Arthur where he's keeping watch and go sit across from him and lean up against whatever the hell's there.
So,
Oh.
you have any luck with our friend in the woods there?
No. Honorable one, that. Or at least he's looking out for his own skin. Either one.
I know his
But-
type.
Got strong willpower. Rare
Well-
these days. You don't find that in people.
No, you don't. You're a better man than me, Daoji. I would have rather left him to the wolves.
Hey, you don't know I let him go.
Right.
Out of character, I say that. You don't know
Knowing
that I let him
Daoji, out of character, knowing Daoji, Arthur knows that Daoji doesn't like people dying.
go. Alright, well fine, I'll give you that one. I look at him and say, I don't know if that's true. But, who cares?
We'll see him again. Don't worry. His
Want a
type.
drink?
No. I'm afraid I,
What? You'll pass out for a week?
yes. I like to drink, but I like to drink something that I know I can keep my senses. And when I like to drink myself senseless, usually in the safety of my own room with my own people. No offense.
I got you.
After a moment
Wow.
of this, the large man who seemed to be the leader of the bard comes out and stretches out next to it on a tree next to you guys and says, "So, what was that ordeal all about?"
Well, from what I think somebody's after those summoning powers that the mages have. The one mage said that a stronger mage than them could make his monsters real and lethal. That's not such a far-fetched idea.
Yes, and it seems that maybe some certain noble has hired them. You're a bard, you've been through the many parts. Have you heard of the Trinity?
Triad.
Trinity.
Or Triad, Triad.
Yeah, we were telling you about it earlier. It's where we're going to perform.
Maybe I'll go in there with you. You wouldn't mind if I tagged along. I don't have performing skills, but
You
I
lot
have
said you
some
were going
sort-
to the university, aren't you?
yeah.
Well, it's just across the river. You see, he sits down and grabs a stick and starts drawing in the snow. He says, yeah, you lot ain't from around here, are you?
No.
Well,
Hell
you
no.
see, you got a river flowing, comes down from the mountain and flows out towards the sea. He draws it out and says, on the west side, you got the university. It's a bridge. Then over here, you got Imre. The university, they like to think they're uptight, smart, doing all their engineering and science and magic, but they look down their nose at Imre, but at the same time, you know, the arts people think they're a bit too strung out. Bit of a feud between the two, but at the end of the day, he smiles and says, all the university kids come over to the Triad to listen to the bards and have a drink with each other. And when the plumbing goes out, well, who is Imre to call but the university's engineers? He
So it
says, you got the
seems that-
Triad right over here, large dome structure.
Yes, that's what I saw when I was focusing on this pendant.
Well, we'll be heading there. They've got performances about every night. A lot of folk come. It's a big deal around, you know.
Hey Arthur, when we get there, maybe not wave that pendant around.
No, I've been in situations like this before. I can be discreet when I need to. And you
Right.
forget, Daoji, I'm a noble. It seems that the The haunt for nobles is the Trinity. For
Ha!
Triumph. Wow,
You're
I
a
keep
noble.
saying Trinity.
Does it really count if you're a noble from across the ocean?
Nobility is nobility, my friend.
Huh.
I ain't never seen a noble do the things you did tonight.
I come from a different family.
Fair enough, fair enough. Oh. Shame I offered you all stories and I didn't give you none.
No, I think we gave you one instead.
Well. Do you have any... You're foreigners. You got any good stories from your lands?
There are a couple of stories. They might go over a little over your head, though.
He says, well, I've known a bunch of stories. Not much goes over me.
Well, there's a story of a legendary warrior. He grew up on a mountaintop. And he went and found an ancient sage. And the sage, after many years, taught him the secret of immortality. His skin was made of sharp steel, and his eyes glue like a fire. He could jump and cross oceans in seconds, and dive to the depths of the ocean to talk with ancient river gods and dragons. There's whole, long stories of his exploits, going around and vanquishing demons in their castles and tricking nobles out of their wealth and their power. I can go into a few of those stories if you want.
Sure, and I can trade you a story of my own.
Yeah, I can't... Well, why don't you start?
Well, have you heard the story of Jax and the moon?
No.
No.
My ma told me this one. Once, long ago and far from here, there was a boy named Jax, and he fell in love with the moon. He was a strange boy, a lonely boy. He lived in an old house at the end of a broken road. Everyone who saw Jax could tell there was something different about him. He didn't play, he didn't run around getting into trouble, he never laughed. He was an unlucky boy, there was no denying that. When he got a new shirt, he'd tear a hole in it. Gave him a sweetie, dropping it in the road. Some people say he was born under a bad star, was cursed. One day, a tinkerer came down the road to Jax's house. This was a surprise because the road was broken. "Oi there, boy," the tinker shouted. "Give an old man a drink." Jax brought out some water in a cracked clay mug, and the drinker drank and looked down at the boy. "What's the matter, boy? You don't look happy." "Nothing's the matter," Jax said. Jax said this in a tone so flat and resigned that it broke the tinkerer's heart. He said, "I bet I got something in my pack that'd make you happy. What do you say to that?" "I'd say that if you make me happy, I'll be grateful," Jax said. And as the tinker brought out some things in his pack, "If you can find something that in this pack that'll make you happy, I'll give it to you. Or I'll give you my house," Jax said. "It's old and broken, but it's worth something." Jax looked up at the tinker and said, "And if you can't make me happy, what then? Will you give me the pack off your back?" Now the tinker was fond of a wager, and knew a good bet when he heard one. Besides, his packs were bulging with treasures from all over the four corners, so of course he could make the boy happy, you'd think. Tinker brought out marbles, all colors of the sunlight. They didn't make him happy. A ball and cup, toys, none of them made him happy. Until finally the tinkerer brought out glasses. The boy tried them on, and looked around, and gazed upon the moon. And he asked, "What is that?" The tinkerer said, "The moon." The boy's face broke into a smile, and he said, "I think that would make me happy." "Well, there you go," the tinker said. You have your spectacles. And he says, looking at it wouldn't make me happy. No more than looking at my dinner makes me full. I want it. I want to have it for my own. I can't give you the moon, the tinker said. She doesn't belong to me. She only belongs to herself. Only the moon will do, Jack said. Well, I can't help you with that, the tinker said, and so his packs were Jax's. Jack set off and traveled for months and years across the lands, trying to find some way to have the moon be his. Until one day he found himself up in a mountain, a lonely mountain, and he found an old man there. The old man saw the look on Jax's face and asked, "Why are you so unhappy, boy?" And the man, and Jax confessed to him his love for the moon and how it could never be his. The man, seeing Jax's face, had a broken heart. But the man was a wise man and knew the names of many things, and began to teach Jax a few of these names. Over time, over years, Jax became fluent in names, until one day he could see the name of the moon above him and called out to her, and she came. She was just as beautiful as Jax had seen from afar, and for a while they were lovers. But the moon could not be Jax's, for as the tinkerer said, she belonged to all, to herself. Jax was not pleased hearing this. And so, as she parted, he asked her if he could hear her name one last time. And as she whispered it into his ear, he trapped a part of her name away into a box, leaving her fractured as she returned to the sky. So, that's why the moon is how it is. She's not whole anymore, you see. Now,
It's not?
well, you see now, it's a half moon. She has to travel back and forth, you see, from our land to her land. For she's not whole anymore. A part of her name trapped away, locked away.
Wow. Yeah, you're definitely a bard. I can't tell a story like that.
Names are powerful things. If you go changing them, they have powerful effects.
Interesting. I don't think I've heard that one before.
Not many people tell it anymore.
Is there any truth to it?
Well, there's truth to every story if you look at it in a different light, I suppose. Just not, if you mean literally, though, I'm not sure. Probably not.
And this Jax in the story, what happened to him?
Well, I don't know. That's the extent of what I know of the story.
Interesting. Like you say, there are many truths in stories, or else why would they exist?
Exactly. So, you're a story in my debt, then.
Shit.
Don't worry on it now, boy. I think
You know
I'll be
what?
getting to sleep.
Yeah, the next time we make camp, I'll have a story for you.
The next one's on you.
Yeah,
Anyways.
don't worry, I'll have one.
He gives...
My country has a lot of them, it's just I left when I was fairly young.
I see. I'm a bit
I
of
don't
a
remember many
nomad.
of them.
I have a bit of the nomadic soul myself. And he gives an overly dramatic stage bow and says, "And with that, I bid you adieu."
Interesting. Bit of a dramatic one he is, isn't he, Daoji?
Because it comes with the job, right?
I suppose.
You know, Arthur, how about when we find your dad and get everything squared away with Ellie? Would you want to come see my place land for a little bit?
I fear once I find my father, if I do, I might find the answer I'm looking for, and I have a duty I must complete. So, I'd have to return home for a time.
Oh, that's a pity.
It is. I
I don't
enjoy
know
your
if you...
companionship, Daoji. As much as I like to prod and poke at you. You're a good man.
We'll see.
Just need to stop drinking so much. You'd be a better man.
And you need to stop judging me, Arthur. What about my
judging.
drinking bothers you so much?
It's not that bothers me.
It seems like it does.
No. Let's just say I care more for your well-being than you do.
I don't know if that's true, Arthur. I think I've done more for my well-being than most people do their entire lifetime.
Let's
If I
agree
didn't
to
care about my
disagree then.
If I didn't care about my well-being, I'd either be dead in a ditch or have a knife in my back. Anyway,
You could die of kidney failure.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Or liver failure, not kidney.
Which one does the alcohol go to?
Your liver.
Oh, well then, I probably don't need that.
That's not correct, but alright.
Oh well, it's too bad. I think you'd like my land. Well, parts of it. Some parts
Who
aren't so
knows?
good.
I might go there with you someday. Depends on if I find my my answers first. If I don't before we head to your land, then yes, we'll go there.
Well, hey, maybe your dad crossed the desert.
He could be anywhere for as far as I know. Haven't spoken to him in many years.
There are a lot of, well, strange stories coming out of my land. It wouldn't surprise me if you're looking for something weird. Might be over there. Stories of dragons living under the sea and ancient sages living thousands and thousands of years growing plants that look like small children, and if you eat one, you live for 43,000 years. Very
don't know
strange
if
place.
I don't know if I want to live more than 40, honestly. I've lived for a long time, Daoji, and things get
Well,
old after a while. People are supposed to die. Now I see that.
In my land, they say that unless you find immortality, you're just reincarnated to someone else.
It's an interesting thought, then. I can see that. Sort of how I came about, if you will. I
Right.
have memories from before that are not my own. I've always pondered on them.
The myth in my land says that you die if you've lived a good life. You pass through the gates of reincarnation, or the wheel, as they say. And if you lived a virtuous life, you become a virtuous man and are reborn into a wealthy and happy family. If you're evil, first you have to spend time in the hells. Different layers of penance for, you know, certain crimes. Sometimes you might be spending years living in vats of lava or stuck on a frozen tundra. Really depends on what your crime is, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about in your lands, but I can assure you that's not entirely true. My soul was born of a very, very dark thing. Maybe, who knows? Maybe this is my hell. Maybe you're my eternal torturer.
I think that's the other way around, Arthur.
How can I torture you?
Oh,
I know how to read.
you find ways. You want to fight again? You want to go another round? One more?
No. Not right
I
now, at
thought.
least. Oh, well. You
We'll
don't
see.
sleep, do you?
I do. Just I try to sleep when everyone else is awake, and stay awake when everyone else is asleep.
Right, well. Stay awake. I'm gonna go to sleep. And Arthur's gonna stand up and walk
Oh,
over to his
all right.
his spot.
Yeah. Bye, motherfucker.
Fucking Arthur.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
as Arthur
Arthur's going down for the night.
walks
He's tired.
away
He's done.
and goes to sleep, you can hear the night passes as you hear Malnik snoring by the fire as it starts to burn out. Snow falling gently on top of you, Daoji. The night goes unscathed. In the morning, the traveling troop starts to pack their things up, load their caravan, and move out alongside you guys. And nothing too interesting passes between now and Imre. The snowfall begins to get heavier and heavier, and the mages have to exert more energy on spells to clear the foot of snow that started to gather around the ground, as they produce balls of flame in front of the horses, melting the snow ahead of them. You guys have to start resting earlier because of this. It's hard to move the caravan through the weather. Eventually, though, you find yourselves cresting into the valley of a mountain, nestled at the center. You see a river passing through, and on the western end, you can see in the distance the university. But on the side you're on, you see the bustling town of Imre. And the landmarked triads stand out above all else. The large dome structure at the northern end of the town.
Very strange place.
That's the building I saw. That's where these men came from. I'm sure of it.
Well, like I said, just be discreet about it.
Oh, I'll use my utmost discretion. But for now, let's see these mages to their destination.
Elliot, do you know what you're gonna ask the people at the university?
Her lips kind of purse up and she says, I don't really know what to say, but
We're looking for information about the sea Simon.
yeah, the sight someone. I'll figure it out before we get there.
Well, I
As you
say we
guys-
not waste any time.
Yeah, as you guys pull up, the lead bard comes up and shakes your hands and says, well, we're heading off to Imre. You've got your duties and we've got ours. We'll be here for the next couple of weeks performing.
When's your next show?
Tonight?
Hey, I think I'll stop by.
Well, we'll be performing just about every night for a few weeks.
And you'll be at the Triad.
That's right. They've got a steep price to get in. It's 20 gold a head, but, well, unless you've got these, he pulls his pipes out, his silver pipes, and says, you gotta earn. It takes a hell of a musician to earn them, though. But it's worth your time. The music is grand, and the alcohol is just as so.
Hey, can't beat that. Arthur, you know how to play the pipes?
No.
Ellie?
No.
Malnik?
He pulls out an empty bottle and blows across the top of it and says, "I can play these."
I look over at the monk and I give him like, "Is that good enough?" That look.
He chuckles and says, "Well, we'll need a bit more than that, but if you practice up, perhaps."
Ugh. I think we'll just end up doing what we usually do and find someone important, help them out of some bind, and then get their favor. I think we do that pretty well.
Well, you're in luck, Daoji, because I am someone important, and we will get into the triad.
Well, you can always pay to get in, I'm all I'm saying. It supports us.
Alright. You have me sold. I'll pay the 20 gold. It's like a week-long pass, right?
It's per night.
I'm gonna be sick.
Told you not to drink that stuff, Daoji.
Oh.
As I said,
Daoji reaches for his quarterstaff and then decides against it.
the prestigious theater in the lands. Either way, we must be off. Come! And he gestures to his caravan and they start making their way through Imre.
A land of culture.
I'm
A
gonna
land
go
of
grab a drink real quick.
intellectuals. A land of very fine brothels.
Alright, I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick.
Alright.
Oh man. I really didn't expect those guys to come out at us like that.
Yeah, I didn't expect you guys to have a fight. So, I was like, okay, we can let this play out.
Yeah.
This will make things interesting.
Bad night for everyone. You know what's really shitty is that I think a lot about like how Daoji would describe his homeland, but when it comes time to it, like I can't get the words right.
Yeah, it's when you put on the spot like that, it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, you did really good with that story. I wasn't ready.
Well, I pull a lot from other things and I write things down. Like that kind of stuff I have written down so I can read off a script.
Yeah, I should write down Daoji's descriptions of things. The only time I've ever written down a script was for Power talking to Yalmar that one time.
What was that?
I said the only
yeah.
time I've written a script was when when Power talked to Yalmar that one time.
I don't script things too often, but when it comes to stories like that, I like to have them because it's stories that people in universe would be telling, so I want to get at least the major details right.
Yeah, I should do that. I want to start doing stuff like that, and for Daoji.
I normally don't tell stories like that because I feel like I'm not sure if players want to sit through a long-winded story like that, but
no, it was cool. I liked it.
Well, you're in for a treat because there are some stories that are necessary if you want to accomplish certain things in this campaign.
Keep that in mind. Oh man. Goddamn Arthur. Kick his ass.
I see you didn't go through with what you were messaging me about. At least not yet.
I thought about it, but I decided against it. Decided to rise above it. But then he took my offer on a fight.
I've returned.
So I kicked his ass.
That would have been a lot closer if he would have landed some attacks.
Yeah. If I would have opened up with that mutual suffering. Yeah.
Yeah.
You would have been hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Stop
I also could have done some tricky shit, but since we were on a stage, like, alright. Well, never mind. I won't say it.
Alright.
I have no doubt that you could waste me pretty quick at this point.
There are tactics I could use where you probably wouldn't be able to lay a finger on me.
Yeah. I know what you're optimized for.
Yep.
But still, it was funny.
It was fine.
Right. So,
You
as
keep
the
saying Daoji's gonna suffer from drinking. He literally cannot. He literally cannot.
But can he?
No. His entire character, it's like he can drink forever. Sorry, AJ. Go
no,
ahead.
you're all right. They say so. As the troop head off into Imre, the mages hop off the cart and toss the burly man who was driving it a couple extra coins. He nods and says, "Well, right pleasure." Before he takes his horses and leads them to a stable, unhitching the cart and everything, and you guys move towards the river. It's a decent walk through town before you make it to the bridge, and it's a long bridge. You can see it's mid-afternoon, mid-afternoon, and you see several young adults bundled up in winter clothes heading across the bridge towards Imre from the university as you pass by. A couple of them taking looks at you guys who are clearly not university students as you walk through. You hear one of them whisper, "You reckon those are Gillers?" before passing by.
I look over. What did he call us?
Gillers.
Killers?
Gillers.
With a G.
Giller.
Oh, like what the mages are?
Yeah.
Killers.
Hmm.
Okay.
Killers, Daoji. It's some sort of record keeper. I've come to learn.
Huh.
One of the mages speaks up and he says, some students stay behind after they get once their studies are over to help the masters. They can be different sorts. Some Gillers stay behind to help Master Kilvin at the fishery. Others, like ourselves, help Lauren with record keepers or just research.
Hey, let me ask you. Do any of the students here, or literally anyone, have eyes like me?
I haven't seen anyone, no.
Oh. Well, that's good then.
Why do you ask?
Oh, just wondering. You know, I'm a foreigner. Foreigners like seeing other foreigners. That doesn't sound right.
Why he's asking is he's lonely and he's not used to seeing things.
Oh no, if I was lonely, I would ask you where the brothels are. Now let me ask you, where are the brothels?
Well...
It's the
Come
slant
on.
in his eyes. That's really what he wants to ask. He wants to ask if there's other people who can only see half of an image.
He
You're
opens
really
his
asking
mouth.
for it today.
He opens his mouth and then glances at his female companion and says, "Well, I'm not the sort of man to visit such places. I wouldn't know."
But you, good sir, and I turned to his male companion. And
No,
said,
his female companion.
Oh.
It's a man and a woman. He looks to her.
Well, you,
as he
good,
opens-
my fair woman, you would know, wouldn't you?
She just gives you a look and says,
Just kidding, I'm just kidding. Forget it.
"Right, we're almost there." And you see as you get closer, it's a large establishment, but it's like a small town of its own. You can see there are several different inns and such on the outskirts, but on the inside of this small little area, you see large buildings kind of spread apart from each other, and another dome-like structure. You can see just the top of the dome-like structure behind another building right back here. It's not as grand as the triads, but you can see a lot of windows on it. And then the other notable structure. It's a large building here with a huge tower in the back.
Let me ask you guys, you had some sort of record keeper here? Somewhere somebody looking for information would go to?
Master Lauren is the head librarian. He has a lot of information, but perhaps he'd be willing to talk to you. Most of the time, it's just students who talk to the masters.
Are we allowed in?
Yes, I'm sure you could.
We go over to Arthur and Ellie, so you guys want to start there?
Yes, I suppose that's as good a place to start as any.
It's actually where we'll be heading. And he gestures to the building with a large tower at the back and says, towards the archives.
Oh, cool. We'll follow you then.
Very well. And he takes you in, and as you enter, you see a lot of students milling about. There's a large, in the center of the courtyard, there's a large statue of a mage. He's wearing robes, holding a staff, and reading from a book. But as you pass by, you step inside of the large building, and the front room, it's kind of small. You see there's just a table with a bored-looking man. He's got a heavy-set face. He's leaning back. His feet are kicked up on the table, and you can see he's writing in a pamphlet as you walk in. And there are two doors to either side. One is labeled stacks. One is labeled tomes. And as you enter, the female says, "Right. If you were wanting to talk to Master Lauren, we could send for him, but beyond here, it's only students allowed."
Oh, then who's that guy?
He's the master librarian, the keeper of the lore and such.
Oh,
Surely, you could ask Master Lauren if I could speak to him in the very least. I have a question that would be very important for him, actually.
Yes, we can send for him. I'm sure. Yes, I believe he has office hours right now. I'm sure he could talk to you, but he's very, what's the word, particular about his books. So only students are allowed past the doors.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Me too. Very particular about my books.
Right.
Arthur gives a look to Daoji and then turns back to them. Understandable. We'll wait here.
So they move up towards the desk and ask, "Is Master Lauren in today?" And the boy, you see, he's kind of ignoring them, still writing, before the woman slaps her hand on the desk and says, before he rolls his eyes back, "Yes! By the gods, he is in. Where else would he be?" Before you see her open her mouth, before taking a deep breath and sighing and saying, "Very well." You can hear her muttering under her breath, "Horse's ass." After a few long moments, someone comes in through the entrance, and you see a large, dark, he's tanned, heavy-set man. You see he's got his hair pulled back, and he's got a braided beard. He walks in and says, looks to the two of you and says, "Oh.
Daoji's picked up a book and he's holding it upside down and he's through the pages, looking very interested.
And the man looks towards you and says, "You are not from here. Oh, let me guess." And he looks to you, Daoji, before smiling and says, "You're from across the desert, Jinpui."
What'd you say? The last word?
He called on the name of your country.
What is that again?
I'll type it.
Yeah, please do. Oh god, now I know. Alright. I glance up and I say, "Gave it away, the eyes."
He speaks again, but it's in your language, Daoji. And he says, Yes, I am well acquainted with your people."
Oh, I'll return back in my language and I say, "Well, that's a pleasant surprise. Well, I don't meet many people who know my language around here.
He smiles and in common says, "Well, I am a giller for Master Lauren." He has a sack on his back and he says, "I travel around and collect things for him. I've been
Oh,
to
so
Jim.
you've been to Jimfui?
Yes, a few times. We gathered
Oh, my
stories and
sympathies.
books.
My
Yes,
sympathies.
it was a nice place before Calidor took over.
Parts of it.
How is the situation with that nowadays?"
Declining.
Unfortunate. Beautiful countrysides.
Is there any word of Calidor activities around here? Actually, are there any people around here like me?
I haven't seen any in a long time. But I only just got back. I was across the ocean for a time, gathering books, scribes, runes, that sort of thing, collecting lore.
You know,
And as you
if
look,
you
this
bit
guy
me,
doesn't quite look like your typical mage. He has, like, at his side, he's got a long sword and he's wearing, like, leather armor.
yeah, Daoji takes a liking to him and he says, "You know, what's your name? Forgot to catch it."
He bows and says, "I am Viari."
Hey, Viari, if you're sticking around for the area, I mean, I'll treat you to a drink or something tonight. We can talk about it. I'd love to talk about, my country again.
"Sure," he smiles and says, I cannot say how long I'll be around. Master Lauren always has me going to and fro. I'm one of his
Yeah,
highest outputting gillers." He
I know the feeling.
tugs at the sack and says, "Lots of books here. Just came back from an archipelago, a few months traveled away from here."
Wow. You have to tell us about it, but that's not the reason we're here. Actually, we came to ask some questions.
What sort of questions?
Arthur, you want to go first?
Please, if you will. Ellie, maybe he has answers for you. I would like to speak to Master Lauren in private, if that wouldn't be too much to ask. I'll wait
Ellie-
for him.
Fair enough, fair enough. So, Ellie, was it? What would you like to ask of the university? And she, kind of blushing at this point, getting a bit shy, she says, "Well, I was, wanting to know more about the sites I'm on, actually." And he gets a look on his face and says,
Daoji's like, he says quietly to Arthur, he's like, "This girl can cut through armor and elves, and look at her, she's..."
Yes. I suppose she, has some faults then.
he lets out a sigh and says, "Well, there's not much to know, is there? But," he pats her on the shoulder, "they're just folklore, girl. Be careful asking around here. Most people will laugh at you." "No, not many people believe that such things exist. But, so, I don't have many answers for you there."
Is there anybody who might? Maybe a master of folklore? And I look over at the guy at the table.
The man chuckles and says, "No, most people here do not take stock in such things. They are too stuck in their, how should I put it, their own ways. Once they get set in, they don't think much outside their boxes, unfortunately. Folklore they think is beneath them."
A bit arrogant.
Such is the way of the learned man. Most do not travel the world, such as me. Don't get to know these sorts of things.
What was this guy's name?
Viari.
Can you spell that?
Yep, I'll type it out. He says, and you see the female mage come out of a back door behind the desk. And Viari says, well, I think you had your spot in the queue first. I'll let you go ahead. So
I look down at Ellie and I say, don't get discouraged by that. We'll find someone here.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get your answers, girl. Don't worry.
So you are led down a winding staircase until you approach a door, another small wooden door. And as you enter, you see a small little room with bookshelves lining the walls and some other shelves with strange odd ends. You see a what would you call it? Can't think of the name of it right now, so we'll get back to that. And you see a like strange little metal instruments, and you see on one of the walls you see a large map of the region. Seems ancient. Different runes splayed out on a one table. But behind the main desk, you see of this little office, you see a thin man with a long face. He has long black hair that's been combed back, and he's sitting there with his spectacles on, writing and you can see, Arthur, you recognize the notes that the magus took from you, and you see it seems like he's currently copying them down, scribing them. It's before he looks up and says, "Ah, yes, the newcomers. Thank you. Come in." So, and as you walk in, he puts his quill into the ink pot and says, "So, I am free for another half an hour. How may I help you?"
Oh, I can wait, but my friend here, she had a very important question that I ask you take seriously.
"Of course. I wouldn't want to discourage someone seeking knowledge." And he looks to Ellie and straightens his back and presents himself, leaning forward, paying attention, says, "And what question might you have, girl?" She says, "Well, I want to know more about the sites I'm on, and like where they come from, if anyone's ever fought them before or anything like that." And he looks at her for a long moment. You can see he's examining her before he leans back and says, he leans back and thinks carefully for a moment, picking his words before saying, "Such things, they..." Well, no, I'm afraid I don't have those sorts of answers for you.
There has to be something.
Well, many books have been written chronicling different types of folklore, but, well, most serious academia students and people studying these things don't normally stoop to the level of folklore, things such as...
I assure you, good sir, that what she asks is not after mere folklore. They do exist. And as you are copying my notes, I can assure you that my notes are true and so are my words. They do exist.
You all say that. You all say that you stoop down to the low level of folklore. Have you never heard that myth comes from fact?
He shakes his head and says, I'm not disputing whether or not these things are factual or not. I'm simply stating that these things are not studied in as great of detail as other fields in academia. Most of our students would prefer to study something of another nature, such as, well, medicine or different other magical properties, be they for construction, warfare, other more immediate products.
Would you happen to know of somebody who does take the time to study these things then?
There was one man, but he got himself expelled years ago.
For what?
He cringes and says, well, he was always a troublemaker. Snuck into the stacks when he was not supposed to be there when I had given him a temporary ban. He had gotten himself whipped several times for, well, a manner of things, least of which causing a fire in one of the master's dormitories. No, but his final offense was murder.
He committed murder and you banished him.
I'm sorry?
Oh, sorry, where would he be now?
I have not the slightest. Well, if the rumors are true, then he's dead.
What rumors?
Well, the rumors that he... well, got into some fights with within Calidor, and, well, no one's heard from him since.
Daoji just rubs the bridge of his nose.
Arthur just looks over at Daoji. Maybe we will be going to your homeland.
Oh, no.
But
Well, that's interesting.
no, I would, as I said, not here to discuss whether they are true claims or not, but I'm sure you may find places for these answers. Someone
Before
else
we
must have
leave,
studied them.
before we leave, we'll ask around. I'm not content with that.
Nor am I.
You may feel free to ask around. The campus is open to anybody, but just follow the guidelines. Stay where you're supposed to stay. Don't cause trouble.
Right.
Is there some place we're not supposed to be going? I'm not familiar, I'm new here.
Yes. They will typically be marked, such as the stacks and the tomes here. Only students are allowed to pursue my libraries. They will typically be marked with signs. Typically, they will say only a certain rank of student is allowed to access, or something of the like.
Gotcha. Well then.
Now that's settled.
Arthur, do you need some privacy for this, or?
Yes, please, if you don't mind. I'd
Hey,
ask
I don't
to speak
care.
to you in private.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand up and say, Ellie, give him a minute.
Alright. She stands up and walks out with you.
Does the mage that brought us in stay?
No, he left when you guys entered.
Alright.
So
I'll
as
walk
the
up
door
to Master
closes,
Lauren.
he
Yeah,
says,
I'll walk up to his desk and say, so, as two men of knowledge-seeking nature, I come to you with an honest request.
And what would that
I
be?
hear that you already met one of my order and turned her away, possibly have met one from before. A Dagmar Kuzland. Did he happen to venture through these parts?
Dagmar Kuzland. Hmm. I heard someone of a name around, but no, he didn't speak to me.
Who did he
You,
speak to, if you don't mind me asking?
of course, he spoke to a man. Let me pull up my notes. Sorry, I need to find the names of the different masters real quick.
Okay.
There it is. He spoke to Elzephius, the master namer.
What was the name?
Elzephius.
Elzephius. Where might I find him?
That is a good question. He doesn't hold an office and rarely holds a class. Uh, hmm. You may find him wandering around. That's the best I can give you. He cringes slightly, which is a first, because this man, his face is typically, as you've come to notice, emotionless. It says he is a bit strange, that one.
Well, usually the strange ones have acquired some knowledge that most of us will deny. Don't you agree?
At times.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that with me. I have another request to ask of you.
What might that
Your
be?
mages, back when I was in Tarbaron, I asked them if they would be willing to set us a teleportation circle. They said they needed to go through the proper channels. I have somewhat of a position of influence these days in the city, it seems, there, and I could offer you a safe location to put down a circle if you would allow myself and my order to use said circle.
Hmm.
You'd be free to use it as you like. My order is keen to yours. We could help each other greatly. I've already offered notes and help to your mages. I would ask the same in return, only out of respect.
I will have to call upon a council of the masters to set such things in order. We will have to come to an agreement that it was worthwhile and safe to set up such channels. And I mean no disrespect, but such things are normally done within a safe location ordained by the city itself. It will have guards and the like. These are
Yes,
not,
yes.
you understand, these circles are not exactly, we don't want just anybody being able to use them. That can be quite dangerous.
I understand that.
Oh, yes, they can.
I will get with my, what would I call her? My liaison. She is in talks with the Lord Commander of Tarbaron. We work together on a daily basis over there. I
If
assure you, we could come to the we could come to the agreement that it would be set in a very safe and secure location. I understand the power of these teleportation circles, and I agree they could be very dangerous. They should be well protected. I just ask that if you do bring a council together to talk about it, please. It's for the sake of research and expediency. I hope you can understand that.
Yes. Well, I'm sure things will be favorable. We are not typically against these circles. It's just precautions. We have to be sure of
I
those.
understand completely.
We
And
don't-
I believe that if I could trust your order, my order could benefit yours greatly in certain fields of study. Do you have a group that you trust with studying perhaps mutations or enhancing the being of a human or a person?
To an extent, but typically such things beyond a certain point are frowned upon.
I can see that.
The
I
last
myself
time
am
the last time a mage was experimenting, well, we found the bodies of thousands.
No, I
He did
don't
great
propose
things,
anything like that.
and he did great things and did advance magic, but at what cost?
What I'm proposing is the enhancement of people, not magic. I myself am the head of these studies for my order. I would be willing to share my notes and
You're implying
help
all of the
guide.
bodies were dead.
The bodies were not dead.
Some of them
That-
were not. We will consider your offer depending on the extent of the mutations.
Yes, I wouldn't share all of the secrets of my order, but I'd be willing to, if you have anybody who wants to study this in a safe environment, under the right precautions, I would be willing to help start the research in a positive direction.
I will send your message along to the doctors. Is there anything else?
Nothing I could request of you any further. It has been a privilege to talk to you, Master Lauren.
Good day.
I look forward to working with you.
He nods and goes back to scrawling on his paper.
Yeah, and I'll exit. I'll find I never got the names of the two mages that brought us here, but I'll find somebody who is in the realm of like a quartermaster or whatnot, because I want to try and buy some black powder now.
Okay. As you walk out, you see Daoji and them. Viari is talking to Ellie. As you come out, and he looks up and says, "Well, had your time with Lauren then? Is he free?"
Yes, I've gotten what I've needed from him.
He smiles and shakes your hand and says, "Well, it was very good to meet you all."
And you as well.
He heads, makes his way down. What are you guys doing?
Oh, not the art guy is not too bad. Very hard to learn my language, you know that?
What did you say?
I'm saying that's Arthur and Ellie.
Oh. Well, yeah, I mean, I can imagine it's hard. It's kind of difficult to speak something that sounds like a few chimes and gongs going off.
You're really asking for a bruising today, Arthur.
I already got a bruising for you. What more can I get?
A few more.
I've had worse.
I'm gonna go over to the lore master. You said he was sitting at a table with his feet up.
This is he's young. He seems just like a student who's manning the table.
Oh, okay. I thought you said he was the lore master.
No, the lore master is behind. There's a door behind the table that leads downstairs.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to him and say, "Hey, can I talk to the lore master?"
He just scribbles. He's writing down without looking up. He says, "I don't know if you could tell, but he seems to be quite busy at the moment."
I can't tell. He's behind the door.
He looks up.
Look, it's kind of important. It's only gonna take a minute.
He glances up before cracking a grin and saying, "Yes, I suppose you couldn't tell with those eyes of yours. No, a man just went in and he's having a conversation with the lore master. So no, you can't go in." And then he looks back down and continues writing.
I'm gonna reach over the desk, pull the book out of his hands, and then grab him by the scruff of his shirt and pull him to a stand. I look him dead in the eyes and I say, "I'm sorry. Is there something wrong with my eyes?"
"Yes, and there'd be something wrong with your neck if we were in my father's land. I'd have you strung up from our walls. Let go of me."
Arthur will walk up and just place a hand on Daoji's shoulder. He's not worth it. Look at him. He's a book nerd. Calls on Daddy for help.
People like him are gonna go very, very short distances in life.
Yeah. Well, my father's 14th in line
I
for
don't
the
care,
crown.
kid. Listen, when is the lore master available?
Well, his office hours will be up very shortly, and I'm sure Viari has a lot to talk about. So, it will be quite some time.
Wait, Lore Master is Master Lauren?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was a different guy.
Yeah.
No,
I
sorry,
did
I
it.
said the lore master. It's who they just brought you down to.
Oh, I marked Master Lauren down as the head of the university.
No, he's the there's a bunch of different masters. He's the master librarian, which is
Oh, okay,
kind of like a pseudonym for the master lore of the lore master.
Okay.
God damn it. Alright, well then. I'll just let the fucking kid go.
Yeah, you do so. He takes his paper and says, "God's damn foreigners coming in like they own the place."
Watch yourself, kid. I'm gonna fucking leave. Before I get us kicked out of the town for
Before we walk away, I'm gonna walk up to the kid. Well, where's the quartermaster then? Somebody in charge of supplies.
Yeah, you look like a manual laborer. You'll fit right in at the fishery.
Arthur won't take that. And he will. No, never mind. No, I'm going down a different road. Never mind.
Not today. We can come back.
Not today. Arthur will, what can I do?
Not today, Arthur. Just walk away.
Oh, I know what I can do. I'll take his book. Yes, manual labor. Let's see if I can use this to start a fire, since I'm, not one of a learned nature. And I'm gonna walk away with his book.
Okay.
And I'm gonna walk up to another wizard, or somebody else in the university. Is it a man or a woman?
I'm sorry?
I'm gonna walk up to somebody else in the university. Is it a man or a woman?
A woman.
18. My good lady, do you have somebody who is in charge of your supplies? I'm looking to purchase some black powder.
Yeah, you approach, and it's a blonde woman with curly hair and a nice face. She turns with a smile and says, "Oh, yes. What sort of supplies?"
black powder. I'm just looking to purchase a bit. I do some alchemy and some experimentation in my spare time. It's kind of a hobby.
Master Kilvin might be able to help you. She points to the dome-like structure to the northwest end of the university and says, though I don't know if he sells to people who aren't students. It's worth an ask.
Yeah, I could always ask. I appreciate that greatly. Thank you. Have a good day.
And she nods and heads along her way.
What book is this that I took from that?
Yeah, Daoji's watching.
It's
He's
not a
outside.
book. It looks like he was scrawling poetry.
Poetry?
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, Daoji watches it. You come out, and he's outside, and he says, "Did you take his book?"
Yeah, it seems it wasn't a book. He seems he's a bit softer than he likes to present himself.
Oh.
Check this one out, Daoji. And I'm gonna read it, and it's gonna say, "Roses are red, violets are blue. You are blushing, and I'm coming too." Kind of odd, isn't it?
That almost makes me not want to visit the brothels today.
Oh, this one's extreme. Wow. Oh,
I walk away.
wow.
Ellie also walks away.
And Arthur's just standing
terrible.
there. Wow. Wow.
Whoa, whoa.
What is this
Going
word?
from poetry to an erotic novel.
Let me read you an excerpt from my novel.
Oh, man.
So, are you guys heading to see Master Kilvin?
Yeah, I'm gonna go see Master Kilvin.
I guess.
I'm gonna go see him. You guys don't have to. I'm gonna go see him. I
Are
want
you-
black powder.
What are you gonna do, Daoji?
I'm going to literally walk around and ask every single person in the university about the sightseeing.
The sight's on.
All right. So before we do that,
Literally everyone, AJ.
yep. All right. So
Have you heard of the sights, Mon? Have you heard
We
of the
came 3 weeks. We've waited months to
Yep.
come here. I'm going to find one fucking person who can tell me the tiniest bit of information about these motherfucking people.
So, Arthur, as you approach the dome-like structure, you can see several windows. You can see why they call it the fishery. It's almost like a fishbowl, because you can look in and see people working. And as you enter, you see a student who's, at a bench. You can see he's got, it looks like the framing of a lamp and a large and a small little vat of some kind of liquid that he's pouring into vials and mixing around together. And you can see several different, as you look, you see he has like a chisel and several different runes have been carved into the lamp. And as you look
Could
around...
I try and see what he's trying to make from it? Like
Roll
maybe
an Arcana check.
Alright. Fuck, 11.
You didn't need too high for this because you've seen him before.
Okay.
In the higher end places around in these lands, they don't use gas lamps or regular wick. The nobles and such, the people who can afford it, they use these. They call them they're like these magic lamps, and instead of a fire, they produce a not quite as bright, but a more stable, more pleasant glow.
Do they have a name? Like, can you just make up a name?
Yeah, we'll call them sympathy lamps.
Sympathy lamps. When I walk up saying, "Ah, sympathy lamp." I've always pondered at the craft, and now I see.
The man with dark hair looks up and says, "Yes, Master Kilvin has all the newcomers make these."
Is the master in at the moment?
Yeah, he points. There's a back office with a pane glass, and you can see inside of it. It's a larger office than Lauren's, but it's got a huge bellow inside of it. And you see a large, dark man with he's got like a full head and a full beard of black hair, and he's got a huge, thick. This guy looks to be like almost 300 pounds, and it's all muscle and a thick.
Shit.
Like a thick what are they called? Like blacksmith's apron on. As he's in this small room, but he's got that bellows cranking. And you see inside several, like, maybe 50 lamps hanging from the ceiling, all of different colors.
I'm gonna step in. Ah, Master Kilvin, I presume.
One moment! You see he
Right.
pulls a large piece of glowing hot metal and dips it into some water. And he turns and shifts some goggles up. He says, "You! I haven't seen you before. What do you want?"
Well, I'm new here, so
Babushka.
I'm looking to procure some black powder. I am looking to craft something a bit explosive.
His eyes narrow and he says, "Yes, black powder is used for nefarious deeds. Why do you want such things?"
Well, I've already used it once, and I like the result of it. I'm a monster hunter of sorts. I hunt all sorts of fiend, chort, and demon, and it's useful.
I see. If it's for monsters, perhaps I can cut you a deal. But if I find out you are using this on people, we will never do business again. Do you understand me?
I understand you perfectly. I know the difference between good and evil.
Well, he opens the door and calls out, "Daniel, get me a keg of powder!" And then closes the door.
Yes, Master. I'm coming. Don't
Closes the door and sits down. He says, "I have not seen you before. Who are you? Why are you here? Besides the powder."
Well, I'm Arthur Kuzland, and I've journeyed far and wide to ask for an answer to a question that has plagued my order for a long while.
A man of questions as well. He slaps the table and says, "You are not from these lands. Do you know what these are?"
No.
And he points to all of the lamps hanging from the table.
They look like sympathy lamps?
Wrong, but
no,
close.
I'm asking out of character.
Oh, they look
Oh.
like them. Yes.
Oh. Well, I'd say sympathy lamps, but
You are
they
wrong,
look
but
like
close.
something different.
And he stands up and says, and he looks you in the eye and he says, "You are not from here. Do you know how to make an ever-burning lamp?"
No, but the dwarves of my land have them.
Then I will need to speak with your dwarves, because I have been trying for years. And he points and he says, "This one here is burned for 4 years. This one, 12 months. And he goes down the list and he says, "But not once have I produced an ever-burning lamp. One burned for 27 years. I thought I was close, but it faded."
Well, it seems that I might have a dwarf who has an answer for you.
Then I will need to speak with him.
You can. If Master Lauren summons a council, would you be on that council?
Yes, I am the master artificer.
Well, I've posed him the question of having a teleportation circle set in the city where my order now resides, or at least the headquarters for my detachment. That dwarf would be in that city, and if a teleportation circle was set there, you would have the freedom to go back and forth and work with him. He is an artificer of many sorts. He's lived for a great deal of years. I happen to be the head of mutant studies. He's the head of brewing, forging, artificing. He crafts all the runes for us. He makes all of our weapon and equipment, and also our fine drink. I think you would get along with him famously.
I will consider your deal, Arthur Kuzland. But he turns, and you're starting to feel now. It's fucking hot in this room, man. The bellows is still going, and the door is closed, but this guy doesn't seem fazed by it. He says, "For now, I have other things on my plate." You can see a small boy, well, not like a small boy, but like a smaller gentleman, carrying this like huge barrel. And he opens the door and sets in and says, Here you go, Master Kilvin. Thank you. Now get out of here, right away." And he picks up a small little pouch, dips his big hand down in and fills the pouch up and says, "All right, this is all I'm willing to part with for now. I am using the powder."
I understand, and this would get me a start on what I'm working on. I appreciate it. What's your asking price?
For this satchel, give it here. He takes it and tosses it on a scale, putting a few different metal like plates on to balance it out. Yes. This pouch will run you 273 gold, 5 copper, and 12 silver.
Right. We have a deal then. That is an acceptable price.
Good. Remember, if I find out you were using this for means other than monster hunting, we will have a serious problem.
I understand, and I can respect that. You're a man of morals, and a man of the craft.
Yes.
I'll adhere to this.
Very well. If that is all of your business, I would ask you to leave. I am very busy today. Many products need to be made.
It was a pleasure working with you. I
Yes.
look forward to you in the future.
Uh,
And, yeah, with that, I will leave.
He turns, sticks his tongs in and starts working in the bells again as you leave. Daoji, as you're walking around talking to people, most of the time when you mention the Seitsimen, they kind of giggle at you or laugh. Roll an investigation check.
Oh, God. Damn it. Oh, fucking boy, I can't fucking wait to roll the fucking... Oh, boy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna luck it. Look, I'm gonna fucking luck it.
It's gonna be a 7.
Oh, it's gonna be a fucking...
It's gonna be a 10.
Yep.
Investigation.
Investigate the ground at your feet. You see, it's some pebbles.
I'm just going around and, I'm after I ask pretty much everyone in the fucking place, I'm desperately like, does anyone know anything about the sightseeing? Anyone at all?
Yeah, most people, like I said, they just kind of laugh at you.
Like, at this point, I'm making a scene about it.
Yeah, and
Arthur
Ellie-
walks up to Daoji making a scene.
Ellie's just like, "It's alright, let's just go, Daoji."
I'm assuming you didn't find the answer to your question.
I need a drink. I don't understand. I would get more information out of a drunkard in an alley or an old man sitting on his porch than these people. They sit around and read books all day, but they don't even have the tiniest bit of information about something like this. What good are they?
Arthur looks around at all the university people milling about, and for the first time has a look of disdain on his face. This is what knowledge looks like, Daoji. It's prude and disgusting. Unacknowledging of the truth.
Maybe
Only-
knowledge, but it's wisdom.
No, it's not. We can find the answer somewhere else, and I'll look at Ellie. We'll have your answers, Ellie, and we will find a way.
Yeah, we'll find them someday.
Can't believe we walked all this way for nothing.
Wasn't for nothing. We've made a little bit of progress, or at least I have. Let's say we find an inn to rest our heads, or maybe at least put our equipment. We should go see that show the bards are putting on at the Triad.
Yeah, I suppose we should. I want to go find Viari if he wants to come along.
Right.
I have much I want to talk to that guy about.
Yeah, Viari is not too difficult to find. You see him in the, he probably would have been in the courtyard watching you make a scene, leaning, kind of sitting up next to the statue, kind of having his lunch.
I go up to him, and Daoji, he's just like exasperated at this point, so now he's out of steam. He comes up to Viari with his hands in his sleeves, and he says, "Hey, Viari, you busy tonight?"
No, not quite.
Well, I was gonna go see that show they had down at the Triad with two performers they had with my friends here, and I was hoping to talk to you more about, my country and your travels. I think you got a lot of interesting stories to tell.
Yes,
I
have seen many things.
I'll open up my bag and show him one of the green bottles, and I'll say, "Desert Rose, do you want to share it with you?"
He cracks a grin
At this
and
point,
says,
Daoji's like a drug dealer with that stuff.
It's the goodest shit you're ever gonna get.
He cracks a grin and says, I haven't tasted the cactus's nectar in some time. I may take you up on that offer.
Daoji has a new best friend.
They don't get that too often in the archipelago.
Where is that?
It's a few months' travel by sea, a cluster of islands.
Oh, God. More travel. No, I imagine they don't.
No.
My dwarf friend here in Self, once we're done with our business, we're going to head over to the Crystal City and hopefully buy a few cartloads of the stuff.
I see. Very beautiful out there. I've been there before. Very hard to find, though. Their city.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, you may only find it at certain times of the day. It's like a mirage.
I have to ask you about that, because we'll need as much information as we can to find it.
Yeah, I'm sure I can
If I
give you
pulled
the
up
secrets.
a map, you'd be able to point to it?
I could try.
I think anything would help. Here, well, look, if you're not busy tonight, swing by. We'll be out at the Triad. I think
Yes,
the show
I'll find
starts
you.
at,
I'll
like,
find
what,
you.
around dusk?
Yes, they
Yeah.
normally play throughout the whole evening there. I used to go quite frequently in my student days.
Yeah, come find us, man. I look forward to seeing you.
I'll be there. Ah, if you're looking for answers to strange questions, might I suggest, instead of shouting around at the university and being laughed at, perhaps speak to Master Elzephius?
Who's that?
I was told of him as well.
He is the Master Namer, a bit strange man, but he is kind, I think. I didn't talk to him much. He doesn't teach classes very often, but I think he has experienced the world.
You know where he is?
Well, he is a very strange man. I think I don't see him around too often, but you can normally tell when it's him. He stands out from the other students and masters.
Does he? I mean, come on, man. Does he live here?
You have to understand that he is very strange. He doesn't... Like, I saw him one time in the winter, walking around with no shoes.
Well, I look down and Daoji's feet are just wrapped in tape.
Yes, I think you might get along quite well, now that I come to think of it. He doesn't stay in one place too long. He switches up where he stays, you see. Like I said, he is a very strange man, but I can see the look in his eyes. He has experienced the world.
Alright. Well, if you don't know where he is, then I guess I'll just have to look everywhere for him.
You'll know him when you see him. He will stand out to you.
Okay.
You want to look for him tomorrow, Daoji? Is it getting late or?
Yeah, as you look, not quite late, probably around 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
So if you guys have business, you can certainly do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go around. I could probably save an alchemist visit for next session. I'm just gonna go walk around and familiarize myself with the town, looking for the buildings that I enjoy frequenting.
In Imre or near the university?
In Imre.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
we'll
also,
head over
with my
him.
hood up, I'm looking for those familiar people I don't like seeing.
Okay. Arthur?
Ellie and I will follow along, but Arthur's gonna be looking for a tavern, not a brothel.
Yeah, Malnik will also be with you guys. As you travel around, it's not too hard to find taverns and brothels. You Yeah, I mean, Daoji, as you're looking around, you find a couple of buildings you're fairly certain have the temptations of flesh. And Arthur, you see quite a few different. You'd have your pick of the litter as far as bars go.
We'll find a tavern that's more middle class, not lower, but
Middle
not
class?
high. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Merchants.
you'd have to. It's a
Yeah.
couple of blocks away from the triads, because most of the stuff there are like pretty high end hotels. People who are coming in, staying, going to, and don't want to travel far to get the good shows. So a few blocks away from there, you find two different taverns that kind of stand out to you. One is just a straight up bar. The other one looks like it's got some rooms attached to it.
Yeah, we'll go to the one with the rooms.
Okay. So you walk inside. It's fairly populated, even though it's middle of the day. Maybe because they got the fire stoking. People coming in to catch a break from the cold. You see a couple of students huddled around a table drinking. Some travelers seem to be in the corner talking amongst themselves, and you see a little, about 3 merchants sitting at the bar. They're each having a drink, talking to each other. And the bartender is a younger lad with short blonde hair, bit frail looking, but he's moving between the different patrons with the nimbleness of an experienced bartender, handing out food and drinks.
I'll interrupt him and ask for 3 rooms, if you will, please.
He smiles and says, "Ah, of course." And he counts you again. Just 3?
I
Yeah.
want to look around. I don't see any Easterners, do I?
No.
Alright.
Says,
Yeah, I look over and I say, yeah, just 3 for them. I'm not going to be staying here tonight.
okay. Well, how long are you going to be staying for?
Let's call it a extended period of time,
Extended
and
period.
I'll offer him 20 gold. Will this cover that?
Yes, this will get you through.
Right.
Smiles. Well, can I offer you anything to drink or eat?
Ellie, Malnik.
I'll have some lunch. And Malnik says, Aye, I'll have give me a stout. Well,
I've got some things to look around in the city for, so I think I'm going to head out.
Right, well, you know where we are.
Yep. I'll come find you before the show starts and we can go together.
Right.
the man smiles and says, Right, I'll get your stuff right away. Nothing for you, sir.
Nope, nothing for me. And I'll wave over my shoulder as I head out.
All right. So, Arthur, is there anything in the bar you'd like to do?
I'll have lunch.
Okay. And there's a few people in the bar. If you want to interact with anyone, let me know. So, Daoji, what are you looking for?
I am searching for any sign or symptom of the Syndicate, as I always do when I come to new places.
So I guess you're gonna be like peeking down the alleyways and such.
Peeking, more like blatantly walking through them with my hood up,
Gotcha.
finding every nook and cranny. I'm my background, I'm experienced, I know where to look.
Yep.
Halt, criminal!
You have violated the law.
Okay. So, let's go ahead and roll an investigation. But since you're experienced with the syndicate, I'll give you an additional +5 to it.
Okay. My proficiency bonus now. Boop. Oh fuck! Oh god! Fucking damn it! Fuck! No! Look.
Oh my god.
Wow. Holy fuck, these dice just love us today. The dice love us.
Dude, I've got one more point of lucky. Can I use it?
Yeah, you can use it as many times as you want until you're out.
There you go. There you go, the little engine that could.
So, I mean, you look around and walk through several alleyways. And this town is, not like most of the towns you're used to. There's not, like, a whole lot of beggars or anything. It seems pretty pristine, even, like, and you can hear the flow of music as there are some street performers out on a corner. You know, small little band. Someone's got a horn instrument, playing with a lute, and someone with a drum strapped to them. People, students, merchants are gathered around, giving them tips. But you don't see any sign of the syndicate.
My Daoji senses are going off, but I can't do anything about it because I used all my fucking luck. So I'll just toss a gold coin at some random performer.
He nods to you as he's playing the lute and says, "Thank you kindly, sir."
I guess if I don't find anyone on the syndicate, I'm gonna go up somewhere like a tower or a tall building. I'm just gonna sit up there and enjoy the wind while I look for stuff. Just looking at stuff.
Okay. Arthur?
I'm just hanging out right now. What kind of I'm listening around to what people are talking about. What kind of things are being said around me in general.
Roll a perception.
All right,
That one.
probably 15.
Nat double one.
2 nat ones.
So you hear some of the students talking, and one of them seems to be kind of down in the dumps, and the other ones are saying, "Come on, man, what the hell is the matter with you?" And he's like, and he says, and you can see he's starting to get a little drunk. He's like, "Well, I'm not going to be able to afford my fucking tuition next semester. None of the money changers will take me. They know my name isn't worth shit, so I'm not going to be able to get a loan either." And the other one says, "Well, have you thought about a bloodhawk? I know there's one who will give you a loan. Might have to do something shady, but it's like a bloodhawk. I'd rather they'd find me in a ditch." It's like, "Oh, not the one I know. She's a bit weird, but." And it goes on.
I'll chime into that one. Bloodhawk. Say I need some coin. I don't mind taking a loan. Where would I find them?
Hmm.
How would I recognize them?
The one says, well, depends on the hawk. The one I know, you'd never know it. I only know 'cause someone else told me. Her name's Devi.
Devi.
Mm-hmm. She's
Does she have a haunt she likes to stay around?
she's on the second floor by some meat shop.
Right. Well, I could use a bit of money.
I'll point you. He says, you know where you've seen the triads, obviously.
Yes.
Head south down that road for about 10 minutes. Swing left. Go down a couple blocks. You'll be able to smell the fucking meat. She's on the second floor of that place.
I appreciate it.
Bloodhawk!
Bloodhawk! Here, maybe this might not be enough, but something for your troubles. And I'll put down 5 gold pieces on the table. I'm gonna go get a loan, but I'm giving out 5 gold.
Oh boy, this'll pay my cent loan.
The guy takes it and just sighs as he pockets it. Thanks.
Pity. AJ's dipping into his personal experiences with student loans.
Hey, I don't want to talk about it, alright?
That's okay.
How's that debt for the next 10 years no, 20 years gonna...
Don't rub it in the wound, you asshole.
The kind of money I'll be making, it's more like a year.
There you go. That's one way of looking at it.
I actually only don't know as much as a lot of people fucking do going to other colleges. It's still a lot, but I mean...
Yeah.
With the salary comp size make, it won't be too big of a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Either way.
I'm just gonna use the wind to blow up the university.
Good luck.
I'm not sure how. I'm gonna lift it up like Ultron and throw it into the ocean.
You can try, but you have heard there is a master namer there. So he might be able to stop you from
Oh God, he got that name. He knows those names.
that. Yeah.
Wow.
Wonder if his real name's Jax. Dun dun dun.
Last name's Chans.
So.
We found the last airbender.
Oh,
God damn it. Is his name Daoji?
Yeah, that's you, Daoji. You're the last airbender.
Yep.
Is there anything else you guys are going to do before the show starts tonight?
I'd like to request that we wrap it up.
Yeah, I was going to say, if there's nothing else you guys want to do before the show starts, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm good.
Gotta work tomorrow.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yep.
Out of character. Depending on events at the Triad, would it be possible that we could end up in a combat situation?
Yeah, dude. Always. I mean, you can't just ask that.
I mean, there's always a chance.
Well, I was going to try and dress up like a noble and
just
mill about. Yeah.
Just do it anyway.
Yeah, just do it anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, even if there's combat.
Okay, that's the tone of voice where AJ's like, do it, faggot.
No, I mean, it's like, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just, if something happens and you're not armored, I mean, you can fucking handle it. Have you seen the damage numbers you guys do?
I mean, we can just run away, the worst.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, worst happens,
I mean, my
you run
AC
away.
would dip down to like, what, a 13?
Even still, you have like 140 hit points.
Yeah. But I'll get hit
look,
every single time.
Look, I just did 42 hits in like a turn. So.
Yeah, but you also roll ones.
Yeah,
I really do.
You'll go 1-1. No, look. Where's all those rolls?
Yep. Now that the game's done.
Let's do it again.
Yep. Now
there it is. There it is.
Let's see if they continue.
Bam! Right there. There's your one.
1.
No, I don't know what it is, man. When it matters, I start rolling fucking one.
I'm gonna have to start dragging those out onto the screen so we can count how many ones Daoji gets a session.
Yeah, it's like that
We could start a
Krillin own
tally, an
counter.
Arthur tally and a Daoji tally for just
Yeah,
ones.
it's like the Team 4-star Krillin own counters. Every time it happens, ding, and a number goes up.
Sensorbane!